Really interesting. Mike Phelan is with us on Talksport, and it's about the ex-United players, isn't it? Darren Fletcher in charge, Johnny Evans is helping him, Solskjaer and Carrick apparently 50-50 to take over, probably till the end of the season. United fans, I know, think they're going to go and get Thomas Tuchel after the World Cup's coming permanently. All of this is to be revealed and decided, but Mike Phelan, in your opinion, what do United need, who do United need to get back to the very top?
To get back to the very top?
Well, that's the aim, isn't it?
Yeah, the aim is definitely to get back on that pedestal and win things. I think right now, with the chaos that seems to be here, and quite evidently here over a numerous few months now, I think they need to settle that down. Somebody with the hand, really, that knows a little bit more about the club, that can bring a little bit of passion to the football club, can get the supporters really, really excited again, and possibly that is an ex-player or an ex-manager of this football club. The difficulty is it's part-time. It's till the end of the season, but as long as you know that is what you're coming in to do, you're in to make a feel-good factor, you're in to try and obviously get them into the European positions, top 5. Hopefully they get a cup run out of that as well. But the guy that's in charge at the moment, he's the guy in charge. He has to make the most of it. Darren knows a lot about what it's like to play here, what it's like to manage here. He's certainly found out now what it's like to coach here in the last week or so. So he'll be keen as anybody to want to put his mark on his position. But I think the others that have been mentioned, if we listen to speculation all the time, then Ollie and Michael Carrick, they're all Manchester United people. So if that's the direction they want to go with, and to be comfortable with that, and the supporters are comfortable with that, then why not? But ultimately, you've got to get to the end of the season, because your gamble is, where are you at the end of the season, and what managers, there may be many managers available at the end of the season, but are they really in it for what Manchester United need, which is going to be to win things, and to be consistently winning. And that's going to be, and we all know, Adrian, that the game changes, not just day by day, week by week. And 5 months, 6 months is a long way away.
It's interesting, isn't it? We talk about Manchester United rebuilding, but to rebuild anything, you need to put some foundations down. At the minute, there are no foundations here. Mike makes a good point. There's some great managers that are going to be available in the summer, but which of them are going to put their head above the parapet and commit to Manchester United now, so that everyone knows that if it is Ollie who comes in, or it's Carrick that takes over, or they stick with Fletcher, it is an interim appointment with a view to someone bigger and better, if you like, coming in. And that's the problem I think they've got. We poured scorn on this interim manager thing, but it's happening more and more now, and there's no stability for anybody, Mike, is there?
I think players want stability. I mean, we're not just talking about any football club here. We're talking about Manchester United, and I keep reiterating that. This is a monster. It's a monster of a football club. And I think people want big decisions and big calls. And I still think this job at Manchester United is there for anybody. Anybody who wants it, it's there. Why wouldn't you want this job? The thing is, at the moment, everything's short-term. And we all know that there's a rebuilding process going on, but nobody seems to know and understand what that's going to look like. And that's the important thing. Now, an interim manager's been happened before. It happened with Ollie, and Ollie brought me back in. And it was literally till the end of the season. Then all of a sudden, we hit the ground running. I think we won 10 games out of the 12, drew 2. I mean, it went from 0 to hero within 12 games. And then all of a sudden, you're thinking longer term. And why wouldn't you? Because everything was good. Feel-good factor was there. So I think now the conundrum is, did he do that again? Or did he go all in and really go for the guy that they want, the person that they want?
That interim spell with Ollie was 74% win rate, which is absolutely extraordinary. And in the end, it didn't work out when he was made permanent. But when you hear, so in that little piece we just heard on Talksport, Gabby Agbonlahor saying that reappointing Ollie makes them a laughing stock. Danny Murphy saying that it's bizarre to go to somebody who has originally failed at a football club. How does that make you feel when you hear that?
I don't agree with that. I mean, I can't get my head around that. I mean, I think that's a very easy throwaway comment to make in the present modern day football, is just to find a fault with something straight away, rather than look at it in the perspective that it really needs to be looked at. And Ollie proved himself. He proved himself when he first came in here. and he grabbed the bull by the horns. He changed a lot of things. He changed mentality, the supporters' mentality, to what they'd seen before. That can happen again. The problem with an interim is what happens next. Is that clear, or is that not clear? Is that just going to ride on the fact that if the interim manager does well, he gets the job? Or is it set in stone that you're holding the fort until they get the correct person in, and then we go again? And where does that leave the person that comes in as interim?
You heard that interview that Oliver Glasner did yesterday after Macclesfield dumped Palace out of the cup. He to me sounded like a man that's had enough and ready to go. If I'm Manchester United, might be worth giving him a call. I think he might jump ship now. I do, honestly, I think he might jump ship.
Well, I think everybody's available. It doesn't matter whether it's mid-season, end of season, whatever. I think everybody is available. And when something like Manchester United comes knocking on your door, I think you're going to give it its just deserves and listen to it.
It's a great shout. There's a lot of United greats here today. Sir Alex Ferguson taking his seat with a smile on his face. Paul Scholes is here. Nicky Butt is here. They're watching on. And it's another new era at Manchester United. Mike Phelan is here as well when we're talking about United greats, an FA Cup winner, and he is on our commentary as well. Norwich have got a fifth in injury time. They lead Walsall 5-1. The Canaries are going through. A result from the WSL: Liverpool 0, London City 0. Jennifer Falk, best keeper of the Euros, keeping a clean sheet on her Liverpool debut, the Swedish international. The teams are out here at Old Trafford. What a weekend. It started with a 6-goal thriller and Wrexham knocking out Forest on Friday night on Talksport. Macclesfield topped that by beating the FA Cup holders. City hit 10. Newcastle beat Bournemouth on pens after another 6-goal exhibition. Burnley, Burton, Bristol City and Chelsea all hit 5. Wolves hit 6. FA Cup tradition this weekend is to entertain us, to bring us some magic of the Cup. Man United against Brighton, live and exclusive on Talksport with United FA Cup winner Mike Phelan, alongside your commentator Mark Wilson.
Good afternoon, everybody. What a game it promises to be. Generally goals when these two go at it. Brighton have been here this year and been well beaten here by Manchester United, and United really do need a win here to keep their season alive. They make 3 changes from the draw at Burnley in midweek as Casemiro, Shaw and Heaven miss out. No Shaw, we believe he's injured. Casemiro and Heaven on the bench. Mount, Yoro and Mainu come in. It's Lemons in goal, Dallo, Yoro, Martinez and Dorgu at the back, Agati and Mainu in the middle, with Mount, Fernandes and Cunha behind Benjamin Šeško, who leads the line. Brighton have got a great draw at Manchester City early in the week. They make 6 changes from that one as Verbruggen, Van Heck, Dunk, De Kuyper, Ayari and Mitoma drop out. Steele, Bashagli, Coppola, Gruder, Veltman and Welbeck come in. It's Steele the keeper, Hinshelwood, Bashagli, Coppola and Veltman at the back. Gross and Gruder holding behind Kadioglu, Rutter and Gomez, with Danny Welbeck, a familiar name in this part of the world, leading the line. When it comes to the bench, United have got by India, Maguire, Xerxes, Malacia, Casemiro, Heaven, the 2 Fletcher brothers and Shea Lacey, who many thought might have got a start today. For Brighton, Verbruggen, Dunk, Van Heck, Watson, Costulas, Mitoma, Ayari, Tasker and the young, highly rated Harry Howell. Brighton in their blue and white stripes, the traditional red shirts, white shorts and black socks. From Manchester United, Mike Phelan alongside his Mike. FA Cup 3rd round, showing more than ever this weekend what a special time of year it is. But this is a big game for both these teams.
It is a big game, yeah, and I think it should be interesting in different approaches and different styles. I expect United at home, under Darren's tutelage, to get at the game, to really get on the front foot, really get forward. You know, the crowd's always been chanting attack, attack, attack within reason, but I think United should come out of the blocks pretty quick. And we've got Brighton here now that just setting up, they're setting up their shape. And it could be open, you know, high professional team. Brighton, possession of the ball, very good. United need to get those opportunities in front of goal.
They do. Looking around here, full house. It's quite mild by recent standards here. We're underway. Brighton will attack away to our left, the Stretford end. And the ball not long and downfield as Yoro wins his first challenge. And the ball will fall to Brighton here, midway inside the United half. Forward though will go United. They pick it up at the back. And here is Mainu now, seeing his first touch of the ball. Just lays it off to Mateus Cunha. And the ball out on the far side, and United just happy here to get a few early touches.
Yeah, the game is settling down a little bit. They're moving the ball around side to side, just working out really what Brighton are doing, whether they're pressing or they're not pressing, but it looks as though they're going after the game as well.
Yeah, Dalot has it. He'll roll it back. Still more live commentaries to come. We'll have one more tomorrow night as the Liverpool take on Barnsley in the FA Cup third round. That's live and exclusive, live on Talksport tomorrow night. We'll have the FA Cup fourth round draw as well. But which of these two teams will be in it? Will it be Manchester United or Brighton? Early stages, and United just playing keep ball at the minute. And as you said, it's like a little bit of early sparring, Mike. They're trying to work out the Brighton conundrum at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can see from United that they're trying to open the pitch out a little bit. Bruno's playing sort of in that hole off Sesko with Mount on the right and Kuna on the left. I think what we'll see as well is probably Mount maybe giving a bit more width than Kuna, allowing Dogo to go down the left-hand side.
Ball from Yoro again. He'll go back to the goalkeeper, Sonny Lemons. And he thought there may be a change at the back, but Darren Fletcher going with the man who's got the gloves at the minute as United play their way out from the back. And Martinez will feed it forward to Cunha, who has it just inside his own half. He turns and heads in field. There's a nice run over the top from Dalot, and Dallow's in here on goal. Advances the keeper, still makes a great save. The flag didn't go up either, so that would have counted. Many thought he'd gone too early there, Dalot, but a good bit of goalkeeping, but the danger not yet done. Mount has it 30 yards out from goal. Martinez will feed it wide on the Manchester United left. Mount makes a great run, pulls it back, but it's going to be cleared away. Rutter will clear the danger for Brighton, but the first big chance falls to Dalot, and fair play to Jason Steele. He makes a good save, but they've given it away. It's back to Dalot into the area. He's going to get another goal. And he leans back and lifts it high over the bar. So two chances in a minute for Diego Dalot. But Manchester United first in, and that was a huge chance and a huge
it was a huge chance. I think that not the second chance, but certainly the first chance. Dalot finds himself in acres of space. Great pass forward. One thing to just look at with Dalot was his first touch was a little bit too big. A little bit too big. Keeper came and probably just put the ball a little bit too far in front of him. But it was a good bright start there. Good forward play. United on the front foot and just putting pressure now on Brighton just to see how they can handle that.
Yeah, that was a nice ball over the top. It caught Brighton out. They've made changes at the back and they were undone. Here's Danny Welbeck, lays it off on the near side, and Kadioglu will go back, and they're just looking a little bit hassled and harried. Every time the ball goes anywhere near the Brighton box, Manchester United are coming alive and they're pressing high up the field.
They are pressing hard, and I think that's important. Man United at home, they have to again.
Here's another chance. Ball through and Steele out quickly. He's been busy. This time it was Sesko who's in, and at the other end Martinez will hook the ball away.
Just through the pressing that Man United are putting on are definitely giving Brighton problems. They're not allowing them to settle on the ball, and they're making mistakes. So nice little bit of chaos in there, which is good for Manchester United.
It is. Ball thrown forward. It'll go all the way through to the keeper. Let's get full time then at the London Stadium. Ian Abrahams.
West Ham 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Crescencio Somerville put West Ham ahead on the cusp of half-time. Richard Kone early in the second half equalised for Rangers. We're going into extra time. It's live on Talksport 2. West Ham 1, QPR 1.
Cheers. There the Moose. Goals elsewhere. Full times. Norwich 5, Walsall 1, and Sheffield United 3, Mansfield 4. Great win for Mansfield. They'll be in the hat tomorrow night. And Manchester United, the way they've started here early on 0-0, but they're attacking Brighton. Crossfield switch. Not the best pass in the end, but it'll be kept in by Dorgu. Midway inside the Brighton half. Knocks it down the line. Wanted the giving goal as they're coming together. And the referee, Simon Hooper, says that's a foul and a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, what's really interesting right now is the fact that the crowd are expressing themselves as well. And that all comes because Man United are playing forward, the passes are good, the running off the ball is good, and they're exposing Brighton a little bit.
They certainly are. The intent is there, and this is an opportunity. Well, Bruno Fernandes has got to go and get the ball. It's down by the corner flag. He gets a big cheer as he goes to collect it. But he's got to jog all the way back, midway inside the Brighton half, right on the far touchline. It's the left-hand side for Manchester United. Fernandes is going to swing this one in. Brighton holding a high line, edge of the 18-yard box. Manchester United looking to sneak in behind. Big chance here from a set piece then. Steele waits a couple of yards off his line, all in yellow.
I think this will go in roughly around the penalty spot area for the United players to attack. He's played it short.
He has, and here now is a chance And they've played it short, and they're going to get another free kick, this time a lot more centrally. Same distance out, maybe 30 yards out from goal there, but there's a foul on Dorgu. And this, well, is this a...
I think that was probably worked at the training ground, that one, where they've gone from a wide position to a shooting position in one pass from the free kick.
Well, is this within range?
For Bruno, yes.
It's about 28 yards out, judging by the cut of the grass here at Old Trafford. The pitch looking impeccable. There's not much of a wall, though, here. Just a couple of players for Jason Steele. Dorgu it was who was fouled. And the free kick, they're going to play it short again. Mainu back to Bruno, hits it, and it's a great save down low to the left from Steele, who I think saw that late. He scampered across the line and puts it behind for a corner.
It's a good save. It's a very good save, because Bruno was very, very bright and intelligent there. Played a nice little short 1-1-2, bottom corner, keeper's left. Keeper made a great save.
Yeah, he saw that late and clawed it away. More pressure for Manchester United. 0-0 here live and exclusive on Talksport this afternoon. Good start though from Manchester United. Ball whipped in towards the far post. It's headed. There was a big appeal for handball at the far post. The referee's having none of it. It's behind for a corner, still 0-0.
Interesting how United lined up there. They had more players at the back post area, second post area, none at the front. One broke out towards the front, but the ball goes deep to the second post, and it's an opportunity. Crowded the goalkeeper out, created a little bit of chaos again.
Did. Still 0-0. We've had 7 minutes here at Old Trafford, but signs of a lively start for Manchester United. But Brighton will be pleased their goal remains intact as Welbeck wins the header, finds Jorginho Rutter. He advances forward, tries to slide the ball through, and there's a chance almost there for Gomez, and the ball poked behind by United, and it's a corner for Brighton.
That just shows you how the different styles, different approach to a football match. You know, one team's trying to play through with runners. All of a sudden, Brighton go a little bit longer up to the forward. Forward lays it off, and they're in the box with a chance on goal.
Yeah, and everybody back in a red shirt inside their own penalty area. Everybody from Brighton, barring Steele, in and around the penalty area. Now they're starting to fan out of the United box, those in blue and white. They've almost got it surrounded. There's two at the far post. The likes of Welbeck and Gomez have taken up position past the far post. Veltman is stood at the far post as well. Ball delivered in, it's flicked off a United head, it's not cleared, it's poked back here. Hinshelwood's shot is blocked, and now a chance. They haven't cleared their lines here, and they'll get it back, the visitors. Coppola has it, and they'll just spread themselves out now and look to retain possession. They work it wide on the Brighton right hand side, attacking the Stretford end. Ball into the corner of the penalty area. Good strong layoff play there, but they can't find the run of Kadiolu. But United just struggling to clear their lines. In the end they hoof it high, but a good spell of pressure there from Brighton, and the pressure's not yet done because they've recycled it on halfway. It's been a lively start, Mike.
Yeah, this is a good energetic start for both teams, really. You know, that I think Brighton now have settled down a little bit. United definitely came out of the traps, which is what we expected, and now it may get a bit of calmness, but we don't want too much calmness. We want it to be frantic. We want it to be a cup tie.
Yeah, it certainly is. Ball played out by Steele, not kept in, it's out for a throw-in. Well, we mentioned we've got FA Cup action tomorrow night. Tuesday night we're live in the Virtue Trophy as Bolton take on Port Vale, live and exclusive on Talksport 2. And on Talksport, Newcastle, Manchester City, Carabao Cup semi-final first leg. Adrian will be there alongside Jim Proudfoot and the former England striker Dean Ashton, first leg of the semi-final. On Wednesday we'll have Chelsea against Arsenal in the second semi-final. All that live on the Talksport network this week. Another busy week of footballing action. But Manchester United have just turned over possession inside their own half, so Brighton get another chance to attack here. 0-0, 9 gone. Brighton have the throw down there, left hand side. Looking to turn there is Rutte. He got past his man, he's driving into the box, he goes down under the challenge. Referee says it's a goal kick. It was a good tackle from Manuel Ugarte there to win the ball for Manchester United.
Yeah, Ugarte did well. He kept his concentration, at first he got turned, but then he recovered really well, and he got the look for the work he put in.
We'll be back here on Saturday as well. Manchester United, Manchester City is live and exclusive only on Talksport. Saturday lunchtime. Rashmin Chowdhury will be with Sam Matterface and the former England captain Stuart Pearce. Ball played forward. Šeško wins the header, but he's deemed to be offside. Not really got involved yet, Benjamin Šeško.
No, the only time they're really trying to hit him is through the long ball, which is very, very difficult because he needs bodies around him. Right now, I think the more United try to play through the lines, the more he'll get involved.
And a reminder over on Talksport 2 right now, West Ham, Queen's Park Rangers in extra time. You can almost sense that's going to be a problematic atmosphere for West Ham. Here the home fans well and truly behind their team. Couple of early chances. Dalot denied by Steele, as was Fernandez from a neatly worked free kick. Remains goalless here. Brighton are just starting to grow into the game now, having a little bit more of the football.
Yeah, they're moving the ball around. They look a little bit more comfortable now, spreading the pitch, making the pitch big. And now they've got the one-on-one under lock.
Yeah, Kandioglu lays it for Welbeck. Peel to the left, stands up the cross, far post, free header, cleared off the line, and fired in! And the visitors lead! Gruder tucks in, it was a beautiful ball, the initial effort cleared off the line, but there was Brian Gruder, and Brighton lead at Old Trafford. There might not be many Brighton fans here, but they're making plenty of noise. Manchester United 0, Brighton 1.
We talked about how Brighton had just started to show a little bit of patience, a little bit of passing. They've started to move the ball around. They switch the play out to this left, and then they go 1v1 against Dalot. And once Dalot is in that position, he's vulnerable. Obviously, then it's a great run in behind him from Welbeck. Beautiful pass, and Welbeck picks out a beautiful little chip into the centre of the box, into the 6-yard box. The keeper actually does terrific. The header, he saves, but then on the ball coming outside of the 6-yard area, there's only a Brighton player there who buries it into the back of the net. Yeah,
it was a beautiful finish, simple but effective, and it was a lovely move from Brighton. And as Mike Phelan with us this afternoon on Talksport said, they isolated Dalot down the Manchester United right, and they made Manchester United pay. Darren Fletcher and United need some answers, but despite being under the pump early on, it's Brighton who lead here by a goal to nil. Here now is Mainu looking to work his way over the halfway line. What will the Manchester United response be? Here's Fernandez, plays the ball forward. It might fall for Mount. Tries to ride a strong challenge. Gomez wins it back. It's laid off by Rutera, who is brought down from behind. And the referee will give a free kick for Brighton right on the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, there's an element to Brighton which is patience. That's one thing. But when they move the ball, they move it quick. They move it quick and they move it forward pretty quick. Then they get the supporting bodies and the runners. And they've just showed glimpses there that they're all very comfortable on the ball. They all receive the ball, but then they've got options to play up, back and through. And they get the runners with it.
FA Cup action live and exclusive on Talksport, and it's a dream start. Brighton have never got past Manchester United in the FA Cup. Now they've got a chance. Welbeck's beaten the offside trap, but the keeper Lemons quickly off his line to deal with it. They're looking a little bit shell-shocked at the moment, Manchester.
A little bit, yeah. Manchester United look a little bit confused at the moment as to what is what. You know, do we close the ball down? From the start, when they were getting at the game and closing it down, they've suddenly now taken a back foot, and nobody really knows whether they're going to go or they're going to stay. And a little bit of...
ball given away here. Big chance for Welbeck for 2-0. Keeper saved it, and he's put over the top. A huge chance goes begging for Brighton. The offside flag went up, but Lamons passed it straight to Welbeck. In fairness to Lamons, he got just enough on it to keep it out. Still 1-0.
Unbelievable how that's still 1-0. I mean, it's a crazy situation they find themselves in. You know, again, concentration, playing the ball out into an area that's dominated by Brighton. Welbeck wins it. I'm astonished that didn't hit the back of the net. Astonished.
Well, Ruther had a chance to poke it in, but he was offside, so it wouldn't have counted. But Welbeck, given the chance, should have scored. Big let-off for Manchester United. Dalot pokes it down the line. Forward come the red shirts here. Agate tries to feed it in field, but Brighton win it back and then try and play their way out and almost play themselves into trouble before the ball knocked forward towards Welbeck, who wins the header, and it'll go inside United territory. But that would have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, that would have been a moment where most players then would be on the back foot. They'd be looking certainly for the coach now then to change what the plan would be. But they're in the game. It's still, they didn't score. And that's the object of the game. Score the goals. If you don't, then you're vulnerable.
Yeah, 1-0 if you just joined us. Brian Gruder took it in from close range inside 12 minutes, but Danny Welbeck has just had a wonderful opportunity to double the Brighton lead. 1-0 to the visitors, live and exclusive on Talksport. Here's Fernandez near halfway, looking to try and work his way forward. Hinchelwood turns him away. Now Martinez will bring it up towards the halfway line. He goes past one, looks for a ball over the top for Šeško. It's a nice pass. Šeško went first time. Couldn't quite lift it over the keeper. The idea was right. The confidence was there. The execution not there.
Yeah, the execution wasn't as clinical as it could be. But the fact that we've seen Šeško now link with somebody who's in the midfield area and he's made a run in behind. If that pass is right, he gets the opportunity. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that because I think he probably had the space just to lob that a little bit higher. But that's good. Yeah. Again, forward passing, running off the ball. In that last few minutes, though, with Brighton, I think Manchester United encouraged them. They encouraged Brighton to come at them a little bit. And you don't need to do that in this game of football. Man United just keep playing, keep being patient, play the ball forward, make the runs forward. It's an open game.
It is. A couple of times Manchester United have worked their way in behind. Here's a chance for a shot from distance and it's fizzed over the top. Good effort from Manchester United, but it was just always too high from Cunha, who scored in his last 4 FA Cup ties whilst at Wolves. Our very own Darren Bent, one of the select few who scored in 5 successive FA Cup ties. 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's really important. You know, you can feel it in the ground, in the crowd. It doesn't matter whether they play the passes sometimes, shots, you know. Encourage the crowd. The crowd loves to see the ball being hit towards the goal.
They do indeed. Right, there's been a third goal in the FA Cup over on Talksport 2, but which way has it gone? Is it West Ham or Queen's Park Rangers? Ian Abrahams.
The goal has gone to West Ham. West Ham 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Lovely ball in from the left-hand side with his left foot by Somerville. And Tati Castellanos, new signing last week, couldn't miss with a header 7 yards out. West Ham 2, QPR 1 as we enter the 9th minute of extra time. It's live on Talksport 2.
Cheers, Ian. If you got the app, you can swipe left and right between the two, but here it's the visitors that lead. Brighton in front, but a really open game. Former Manchester United man Mike Phelan with us this afternoon. What have you made, Mike, of the opening 17 minutes?
I think it's a really interesting game. There's a couple of different styles out here. I think both teams have come with the attitude to win. That's a nice thing, you know, and the Cup gives you that opportunity to just change from the league format. Let's have a goal, let's try and score more goals than the opposition and win a game of football.
You mentioned right at the start, they're generally open games when these two do meet. They shared 6 goals between them, 4-2. Manchester United won earlier in the season. Mbubo got a couple that day. He's not with the team today, as the United player gone down over on the far side. That's Dorgu's gone down. Referee just stops players. Brighton kicked the ball out.
Yeah, nothing serious there. I think it was just one for the cameras, that one.
It is. I mean, they've made changes, Brighton, when it comes to their end of the field. And United have made a couple of good runs in behind them. Is that the way United get back into this new field?
Yeah, I think it's important that you have not just football players who play the passes, but you need runners. You need runners who run into good spaces. And that creates confusion. It creates a different dynamic. And if you're prepared to do it, we've seen it from Mount, we've seen it from Bruno. I think Dorgu will definitely get down that left-hand side, and obviously Dalot's got forward at times. If too many do it all at once, then they leave gaps. But I think it's a positive approach.
He's just been fouled. Referee gave a free kick, which they take quickly. Manchester United as they attack away to our right here. 1-0 Brighton lead. Maino under pressure, did well to get it back. And now at the back it is with Ugarte, who gives it back, and they come forward with Fernandez. But Brighton have come back. There was a couple of good runs there. Dallo and Šeško made a run over the top. Ball didn't come. Crossfield switch looking for Mount. Just too much fizz on it, and it skips away.
I think what we're seeing a little bit different to before is that Šeško now is starting to appear on the shoulder of the centre half. He's opening up the space that he wants to run into by being on the shoulder, trying, in essence, to try and make a blindside run in a way. And I think that's a sign of what delivery Šeško's looking for.
Yoro does well to pick up the ball high inside the Brighton half. Ball slid forward looking for Fernandez, but Cunha plays it forward. Here now is a chance. Dallo made a great run again. They couldn't find him. Here's Maino, breaks through a challenge. His ball just forces Dorgu wide over on that far side. He's kept it in though. He'll get it back to Mainu. 25 yards out, lifts across into the box. It's just too high. Couldn't keep his header down, and it goes behind. But rapturous applause here. They're liking what they're seeing, the home fans from Manchester United, who are attacking in good numbers.
Again, the ball into the box, a goal into goal-scoring opportunities. Whether that's a beautiful ball in or an exquisite pass, but it's got to be in the box where the goal-scoring opportunities can be created.
Yeah. Some cut ties in extra time elsewhere. Swansea 1, West Brom 1, Hull 0, Blackburn 0, and over on Talksport 2, West Ham 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Penalties, remember, if it's all level at the end of extra time. 1-0 Brighton lead here, and it's been a lively start at both ends, and there have been good chances at both ends, but you wonder, that Welbeck missed opportunity to make it 2-0, will it haunt Brighton later on in the evening here? As now there's a foul given, and this is a dangerous opportunity for Brighton here. There's a foul about 25 yards out from the Manchester United goal.
Yeah, this is a bit of creativity here from Brighton, if possible. I think he just overcommitted the defender against the Brighton player. But it's a time to breathe, a time to rest when it's been pretty hectic.
It is. Free kick actually eventually given a little bit further away than initially thought here. It's about 30 yards out. It's way to the right of goal, and it's a chance to put the ball into the area. 21 gone here. Brighton leading Manchester United by a goal to nil, live and exclusive on Talksport.
If United defend this well, the counter-attack's on pretty much. If they can get first to the ball, make a clearance.
Well, the ball whipped in towards the 6-yard box. It's headed away. It falls and he's hit first time, and Veltman's shot in the end was well wide, but he didn't half connect well with that. It's behind, and it's still 1-0 to Brighton.
Yeah, what Brighton do well we've seen it on the corners, we've seen it on the free kicks. They ring the 18-yard box pretty well. They have bodies in there, but they also know roughly that if they have the 3 on the outside of the box, they can keep the pressure on the second ball.
Yeah, lively cup tie here, and we're approaching halfway through the first half. Manchester United
and again, great
trailing.
run.
Now, did they go too early? I think they did this time. Chesko went a little bit too soon, and the flag goes up for a free kick for
There's
Brighton.
nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that's got to be encouraged with Chesko. Go, go, go. Let the linesman do his job. But if you just get that one right, you're in.
Brighton coming forward again. Bit of a wrestling match, and the referee deems that this time it's a free kick for Manchester United. You are listening to Talksport. We'd like to welcome our listeners across North America on Sirius XMFC. And don't forget, you can join Jeff Selling and Ali McCoy's Monday, 6 a.m. UK time. If you fancy something a little bit different to your morning, then check out Chris Evans' breakfast show, weekdays 6:30 a.m. on Virgin Radio. You can listen on DAB, or you can download the Talksport app, and all our sister stations are there to get stuck into. And you can catch up with the podcast, etc. Ball down the Manchester United left. They're advancing forward. Was that a foul from Fernandes? No, it wasn't. It's a corner. Brighton are not happy about that. They felt there was a push there.
Yeah, I think there was a push there. I think Man United have got away with that one. I think Bruno just helped him along onto the ground, but it's a United corner, and hopefully they can make the most of this.
Yeah. Ball going to be swung in. 1-0, 23 on the clock here. But Manchester United have got a corner. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. Plenty of movement from the red shirts in the box. It's delivered right on top of the keeper, and Steele gets up highest underneath his crossbar, plucks it down, and now the counter could be on here. Gruder one-on-one with Ugarte, but the pass was nearer Ugarte, who shuffles it back to his keeper, Seni Lamens.
Yeah, Ugarte's read that really well, because it was a 1v1 situation.
Mount plays it to Mainu, just his second start of the season for Kobbie Mainu. Started at Grimsby in that ill-fated League Cup match as Dalot plays it forward. Here now is Cunha. He has it right hand side of the penalty area, drops his shoulder, puts in an early cross, and it's sliced up in the air and behind by Brighton. Coppola at the expense of another corner for Manchester United.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a tactical element to it. United are going a little bit longer, a little bit more into space, into the grass, and we're getting actually good running but delivery of crosses. So obviously they've looked at that. They've got a Sesko in there who thrives on crosses, and we've got Cunha playing that one in, and the reward is not necessarily a goal but a corner.
Yeah, Martinez is going to take the corner here. Going to be a left-footed in-swinger. Brighton have got everybody back here. Manchester United surrounding the Brighton penalty area. Can they get something on the end of this and manufacture an equaliser? 1-0 Brighton lead. Corner delivered towards the far post, and there's bodies flying everywhere. It'll fall edge of the air. It's headed back into the mix, and it eventually will go behind for a goal kick. They kept it alive, Manchester United, but they couldn't get an effort on goal. Still 1-0.
Still 1-0.
Brian Gruder with the goal on 12 minutes. Welbeck had that glorious chance to make it 2 after Lamens made a hash of his clearance. At the other end, Dalot denied in the opening couple of minutes by Steele, and then Fernandes denied by another fine Steele save. 1-0 here, but it has been a great cup tie. Live and exclusive on Talksport. There's a ball played out from the back by Brighton, flipped round the corner, Rutter. First time ball by Gomez, and Gruder up against Dorgu, and Dorgu did really well, stood firm, and he'll get it back now as United look to play out from the back, but they just showed their danger there on the counter-attack, Mike. For
yeah, really interesting plan that from the goalkeeper, the Brighton goalkeeper, that United have pushed high. They push high on the goal kick. The two centre-backs open up to the 6-yard box, and what United have done, they've pressed high, but they've left a massive space in that midfield area, which the centre-backs of Man United are having to travel into. The goalkeeper, really, to his credit, is playing a beautiful little low pass into that space, so it's becoming quite a long game.
Yeah, ball played forward. Here come Manchester United. Šeško, edge of the penalty area, just has to run away to the left-hand side. Ball recycled by Manchester United. Mainu makes a run. He'll do well to keep it in. He does keep it in right on the goal line, left of goal. 3-4 red shirts wait in the middle. They need to try and get a cross in. They play it short. Martinez breaks through a tackle, shoots, and it's blocked. Good block as well from Bashagli. And United get it back right on the left-hand side of the box, but now Brighton looking to break. They have it over on the far side, and they'll look to play it forward, and they do play it forward. It'll come back ricochet. They can't clear their lines at the moment, Brighton.
It is definitely a cup tie, this, and you can see there's lots of mistakes, there's a lot of passing, a lot of giveaways, tackling, which we don't see too much of these days, and it's terrific. It's really open.
It is. Like we've gone back old school. We'll get a half-time update in extra time shortly at the London Stadium. Here now come Brighton again. They work it out wide. Kadioglu feeds it wide here, and an opportunity for Brighton to put the ball in from the right-hand side. They'll lay it back. It's stood up at the far post just over the top of Rutter, and Manchester United now they don't clear their lines effectively, and the ball will spin over on their left, and Cunha will play it forward. He's looking for an out ball. There's not really one on at the moment. Šeško was occupied by 2 Brighton defenders, and now Manchester United will look to build out from the back, and they do it patiently. Here's Lenny Yoro, feeds it wide now for Dalot. He'll go back to Yoro, and it's all the way back to Lamens. Let's get half-time then over in that cup tie on Talksport to in extra time. West Ham will lead in Queen's Park Rangers. What's happening in Abrahams?
West Ham 2, QPR 1. Tati Castellanos' first goal for West Ham, heading in from a Somerville cross, means the Hammers go into the last 15 minutes of the extra time period, 2-1 ahead. The game is live on Talksport 2, West Ham 2, QPR 1.
Cheers, Ian. Here Manchester United on the attack. Cunha is unceremoniously dumped over on the edge of the centre circle, and a free kick here. Brighton leading by a goal to nil.
Again, in a frantic sort of passage of play, a little bit of calmness again, reorganised, start again. But from a supporter's point of view, you want the tempo to stay the same. You want it to be high octane, good tempo, good passing, good movement.
Yeah, well, from a neutral's point of view, it's been end-to-end stuff. No doubt about that. Up in Scotland, big goal for Rangers. Silo Asgard has put Rangers in front on 23 minutes. They lead at Aberdeen by a goal to nil. And in the FA Cup, West Brom have nudged in front. Jed Wallace has given them a 2-1 lead at Swansea. Ball now coming forward, Manchester United, who trail here by a goal to nil. And Brighton poke it out over on the far side. Certainly the intent is there from both sides to score more goals.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I think that's what's going to make this a very interesting cup tie. But a good cup tie, a good game so far.
Manchester United, who were dumped out in their first League Cup tie. Only twice in 40 attempts have they gone out at the third round stage. Brighton's record is good as well. They've won 14 of their last 16 third round ties, so they've got form for making it into the fourth round. The draw tomorrow night live as part of our coverage as Liverpool take on Barnsley. Here's Cunha with room to turn. 25 yards out, lays it to Fernandes. He finds Dalot. Dalot gets it onto his right foot. He thought about the shot, lays it to Mount. Mount puts the cross in, it's blocked. Back to Mount again. Stands it up. It's almost karate kick clear by Brighton, but it's not yet clear, but the break could have been on. There's a big appeal for a handball there. Referee says no, it's play on. Ball will fall edge of the area for Manchester United, and Brighton will clear it. And now they'll get it with Rutter. He feeds it over to Gruder, and Brighton are looking to counter here. They've got plenty of blue shirts coming forward. This looks dangerous.
It does look dangerous, yeah.
And they've got a chance here if they feed it out wide on the left, and that's where they're going. Here now goes Kadioglu. He's got to edge of the penalty area. Manchester United have got back. Can they regain their shape? Ball whipped in towards the far post. A bit of wrestling there. Rutter and Dorgu were all over each other, and if Rutter had had his eyes on the ball, Mike, he would have had a chance.
Yeah, I think he probably was slightly impeded, but not enough to get a decision from the referee. But it just shows you how the game is flipping from one half to the other. There's a lot going on here, a lot of sort of mistakes, but actually it's making it an entertaining game.
Yeah, 31 on the clock, live on Talksport. Brighton leading by 1-0, and they have the ball, although they're running away from the Manchester United goal at the moment with Hinshelwood. He lays it off, and now on halfway, Shagley will get it out wide. Here's Pascal Gross. You get the feeling he's going to be a really good recruit. He plays a lovely ball in, played in towards the penalty spot area by Brighton, and it's cleared away. But I think the offside flag had gone up against Kadioglu. It wouldn't have counted anyway.
Wouldn't have counted, but it shows the intention from Brighton. The intention is that little bit of patience, that little control in midfield, and then the runs in behind from the wide players, or the wide player at the moment for Brighton. And it was a lovely pass, just mistimed. Linesman obviously got it right, but it was dangerous.
It was indeed. Swansea weren't behind long. They've equalised against West Brom. 2-2 there, deeping extra time. Rangers have doubled their lead. Manny Fernandez, the centre-half, has scored. Aberdeen 0, Rangers 2. The title race well and truly alive north of the border. Here it's FA Cup in England, and it's Manchester United. Only Arsenal have won the great trophy more than them, but they're behind at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. The goal from Brian Gruder inside the opening 12 minutes. Lenny Yoro didn't get a nice pass, but he dealt with it beautifully, and he gets it back to Senny Lamens, and United will try and build again. Played out to Dallo. Fernandez feels he got a bit of a knock in his glute, and the referee Simon Hooper agrees with him, and Fernandez is up
in his glute. There you go. Huh?
Well, he got a kick up the backside then, Mike. Is that better?
Exactly, that's where I come from. Yeah.
Yeah, he's up, and he's hobbling around a little bit, but he's making his way forward. 1-0 Brighton lead here. It's been a really open game. Chances at both ends. I'm feeling there are more twists and turns to come in what has been a momentous FA Cup weekend across the Talksport network. As now Martinez flicks it back to Fernandez. Here's Kobbie Mainoo. Looks up. And now over on that far side, they'll play it forward. Out to Dorgu, level with the edge of the box, plays it for Martinez. Can he get there? Pulls it back. Steele is across to smother the danger, and it's hooked away to safety and out for a throw-in. Steele has been on top form so far today for Brighton.
It's amazing when you watch this game that the centre-back starts it in his centre-back position, and he ends up being the furthest player forward to try and get the finish. Pretty unusual moment.
Yeah, oh, lovely flick here. Chance now. Well, Cunha has it, edge of the area, lays it out on the near side. Here's Dallo. Cunha gets it onto his left foot, but he's given it away. Ball went straight back. Here's Yoro, back to Cunha again. Tries to feed it into Fernandez. Hit the shot, is blocked, and it will be poked back towards goal. Fernandez is appealing for a penalty, but Simon Hooper's having none of it.
No, I can't see that being a penalty. He was pretty close to the ball. It's a shot on target. I don't think there's any real interference to call it a penalty.
Well, here now is a chance for Manchester United. They try and feed it into Šeško. Fernandez is furious. He thought the pass was a good one, but Šeško maybe just slightly too late on it, and it slips away for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a good forward pass. I like the intention of that pass. You know, the player, the centre forward, Šeško, is there. Bruno's put a lot on that. He's fired that one in, probably just a fraction too firm, but it's positive. Real positive forward play.
It certainly is. Already across the Talksport network today, we've heard Leeds United go through at Derby. Arsenal have won at Portsmouth, and now Brighton lead here at Manchester United. Welbeck won the ball forward, but couldn't hold on to it. Mainoo does well to win a challenge. He's bundled over, and Brighton win it back. And Brighton again are looking to counter here. Ruder on the turn, has it, the goal scorer, back to goal, now turns forward. He's got support on his right. He'll need it now. He lays it out right. Ball set up to the far post. A big chance. and it's headed behind by Diogo Dalot. If it hasn't gone out yet, Brighton will recycle.
We're still live. We're still live.
Here's Pascal Gross, but once again, Brighton showing they're fully committed to getting bodies in the box, although that cross goes beyond everybody. Dorgu wanted it to run out and he slipped over on the far side. Gruder will keep it in, and Manchester United with an error there. Here's a chance for Brighton, leading by a goal to nil at Old Trafford in front of the Stretford end. Not the best pass, kept alive though here, and that's a foul, is it? No, referee says play on, and the break's on, and Šeško in on Steele. Steele comes out and heads the ball down. Good goalkeeping again, sweeper keeper from Steele.
Yeah, Steele's positional play there was excellent because Šeško would have been favourite.
They're both looking to break, aren't they? As soon as they get it, they want to go forward.
The spaces are there. The spaces are there long. They're not necessarily in that midfield area, but they're definitely long. If you're prepared to run and make that distance and the ball travels well, then you've got an opportunity.
Here is a ball over the top. Dallow's trying to get in at the far post. Gomez heads it up in the air, but Dalot will win the header. Won't fall to a red shirt on the edge of the area just yet. He's poked away, and here's a bit of a push and a shove, and Gomez is beaten to it by Lenny Yoros right on the touchline. He's got to go all the way back to his goal, and Darren Fletcher encouraging his players forward here. Still 1-0 Brighton. Here's Yoro again, looks for the ball over the top. Šeško beaten in the air this time. It'll fall now for Gross. He gets it away, but it's given away unnecessarily there by Hinshelwood. Here's Fernandez, little give and go, centre of goal. Mount has it, trying to work his way past one. He's got Dorgu with him. He'll feed it to Dorgu. Cunha and Šeško wait. Ball laid back here. Fernandez could have had a shot, dwelt on it, and then loses possession. And Rutter will bring it away for Brighton, but he's turned it over. It's getting a little bit scrappy at the moment, and a pass into space, but Šeško, I think, unwillingly there was offside.
Šeško was coming back into play from sort of the last attack. It was just unfortunate there. Menu actually played a very good pass. It was just unfortunate that he was coming back into the play.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget, following us here at Old Trafford, you can have your say on another day of FA Cup drama with Majestic and Alan Pardew on the final word each and every Sunday. 03717223344 if you want to get involved with that one. Over on Talksport 2 tonight, back-to-back commentaries from the NFL playoffs. Excellent NFL coverage throughout the season. It's getting to the serious stage now. It's the wildcard weekend. You can hear it live on Talksport 2 tonight here at Old Trafford on Talksport. Brighton lead by a goal to nil, but I'm still not quite sure how it's only 1-0, Mike. The chances have dried up, but certainly the attacking intent is there for all to see.
Definitely. I mean, I do like it from both teams that both their intentions are to go forward and create scoring opportunities. I think Brighton are definitely settled into the game. United are being encouraged simply by going longer and running harder. But, this game is wide open, still wide open.
Yeah, Steele has it. He has it at the back on his own penalty spot area. He rolls it away from Cunha. He's waiting for space to open up. It does with Kadiolu, who welcomed the foul there. He was waiting for Dalot to stick a boot out, and Dalot duly obliged, and it's a cheap free kick for Brighton. Obviously Brighton are in front, they'll be happy. There looks to be a little bit more, how can I say it, when they attack, there seems to be a clear plan for them, whereas with Manchester United it seems to be a little bit...
I think what Brighton have done really well is they've opened the pitch out. They've created opportunity to find space to play in. And what Brighton are, they're all very comfortable on the football. They receive the ball well, they receive it with the willingness to turn forward and go forward. And that is obviously through the coach. The coach has implemented that, and the selection of players, they're all comfortable at taking the ball. They know when to create a slowness, they know when to create a tempo, and it pays off. It pays off on a big football field like Old Trafford.
Well, they've been patient there. Welbeck lays it out to Kadiolu on the near side. He's left-hand side. He's gone past his man. He puts the cross in. It's brought down by Rutter. Couldn't get the shot away on the full edge of the area. Here is a chance now for Hinshelwood. Feeds it to Welbeck. He pokes it further wide on the right. Back to Welbeck in on goal. Tries to poke it towards goal, and he's hit the side netting. Big chance again for Brighton. Still leading 1-0.
Big chance for Brighton, but it showed patience. Again, coming from Brighton's left-hand side, creating that 1v1 against Dalot. They're getting into those spaces. Dalot doesn't look comfortable at dealing with that 1v1, and that final ball is not far away from being a goal.
No, but it is still 1-0. Welbeck had that great chance at 1-0 when Sonny Lemons passed him the ball and he didn't get it past the keeper one-on-one. Keeper redeemed himself. Here, though, goes Fernandez looking for Šeško. 25 yards out from goal. He goes to ground. He wanted a free kick. And I think he's going to get one. The referee says there was a tug on Šeško's shirt here. And this is a great opportunity. 25 yards out, just a yard or so to the right of goal.
Yeah, I don't think they're passing this one. I don't think Bruno's going to knock this for a little one too. He's going to go for goal. Again, little signs of good play, good understanding. Bruno, Šeško, that pass, they've found each other on numerous occasions now.
5 to go to the break. And Old Trafford, there's a bit of a hush here. This is a big chance for Bruno Fernandes, who's got it now. He's 25 yards out. Now Jason Steele is organising a blue and white wall. There are 4 shirts in it. Lenny Yoro's just a yard off the end of it. Then there's another 2 blue shirts. They're holding a line about 15 yards out from goal here, Brighton. I don't think anybody in the ground is expecting anything other than Bruno to shoot here.
No, I think Bruno's definitely got to do what Bruno's good at. Hit the target, make the keeper work, and then you hope, if the keeper does get something on it, Man United are following in for a second opportunity.
And he marks his run up. Old Trafford awaits. Manchester United need a leveller. Bruno Fernandes hits it low, and it's just wide of the target. I think Steele had it covered. It was a deliberate play, went straight through or under the wall, but Steele had that one covered. And
yeah, it was an unusual one, that, for Bruno. Normally he likes to get it over, up and over. This time he's gone very, very more of a side foot pass towards the goal from that distance, but just off target.
Yeah. We'll be back here on Saturday, the Manchester derby. United against City, live and exclusive next Saturday lunchtime on Talksport. Sam Matterface, Stuart Pearce and Reshmin Chowdhury will be here, all part of our Game Day Live offering each and every Saturday across the Talksport network. Adrian will have all the goals as they're going throughout the afternoon. There's a ball played forward by Brighton now. They have it on halfway, and again Kadioglu's got room to run forward. Dalot just backs off, but Brighton just for a moment just happy to have the ball here, Mike. They'll want to take this lead into half-time, won't they? 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a goal now for Man United is going to be terrific because it changes the dynamic of the team talk. But for Brighton, it's about staying with this 1-goal lead. We can see now a little bit of patience. They're bumping the ball around, and then they open the pitch out.
Yeah, Dorgu wins 1-2. And then brings it down with a third. That's good defending from the fullback. And again, Old Trafford, a ripple of applause. Things might not be the greatest here at the moment, but they like what they're seeing in terms of intent and effort. As Yoro advances over halfway, Manchester United chasing an equaliser. Fabian Hürzeler is trying to orchestrate his team from the sideline. Darren Fletcher with his big over jacket on and his dark trousers. He's got his hands in his pockets at the moment.
He's looking the part, isn't he?
He is. But his team at the moment are not delivering the result he would want, although they're going to get a free kick here. And there's a foul there, and it will be Martinez who's on the wrong end of it. Danny Welbeck sporting to make sure his opponent is okay, and it's a free kick just inside the United half, just around about 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, Danny's just letting himself be known there. You know, he's just left a little one on Martinez just to tell him that I'm right here.
Yeah. Well, 8 goals for him. Might be about the one he didn't get today. Ball down the left. Dorgu's giving sprint to it. Can he get in a first time ball? He pulls it in. Cunha lets it go, and it's put behind by a retreating Brighton defence. And it's another corner. Great work there from Dorgu. The ball was hit into space, and he did his best to get it, and he kept it in.
He did. United again just before half time. Corner, set piece, played it short. Bruno's played it short.
Yeah, but he's into the box now. Brighton can't go for him. He lays it back. Dorgu left-footed cross towards the far post. Martinez sends it back into the 6-yard box. Šeško has a swing and a miss. Another swing, and it's hooked away. Anywhere will do for Brighton, who were just on the ropes a bit there.
Yeah, again, you know, just by putting that ball into the box creates that little bit of carnage in there, you know, and there's a lot of battling going on, a lot of indecision, and United come out of it with the ball.
Inside the final 60 seconds of the opening 45. Not too many stoppages. There will be a little bit of added on time. Brighton leading. Dorgu has to go back to Lamans, and for the first time maybe a bit of a groan around Old Trafford.
Yeah, a little groan, and simply because from an attacking spot,
what a chance. Played in. The first touch wasn't the best. He went for the back heel, and a groan of frustration. Mount was with him. Dalot was almost in again over the top. He's certainly been an outlet for United. Here's Mount, edge of the penalty area. Kobbie Mainoo has it. Mainoo looks up. There are 4 red shirts waiting in the penalty area. Can United snatch one before the break? Mainu wanted the give and go. Cunha holds onto it, feeds it to Fernandes. We're going to have 1 minute added on time. Ball over the top for Mountain. Will need to be acrobatic to keep it in. It just got away from him. Well, twice now they've got Dallow in, and twice he's not quite been able to break the Brighton
just
defence.
that little bit of composure is required. I don't understand really why he went for the back heel after the opportunity failed him. Just retain the ball. But 1 minute added on, it's going to be a good minute.
Yeah, it's been a good first half, certainly for the neutrals, certainly for Brighton fans. Brian Gruder's goal has Brighton Hove Albion in front, never knocked Manchester United out of the cup, including the heartbreak of 1983 when maybe Brighton could and should have won the FA Cup. They didn't, and they still await their first win of that famous trophy. Here now is Fernandes, sets Cunha free. Šeško's busting to get into the box. Here's Cunha, goes past one, shoots low, Steele down low to his right. He's happy to see it go the right side of the post as far as he's concerned, but better again from Manchester United.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity again, retaining the ball, first thought forward pass. You've got a pacey guy in Cunha on that left hand side now against the Veltman, who's struggling to match his pace. And he created the 1v1. Shot off target, just needs to do better. A bit more concentration in that final shot or pass.
Yeah, it wasn't too far wide, but the keeper, I think, was down expecting the shot. Referee will blow the whistle, and that brings to end what has been a pretty good first 45 minutes of FA Cup football. Manchester United had two great chances early on. Diogo Dallow played in, lovely ball over the top. He was in on Jason Steele's goal, but Steele made himself big to deny Dallow. And then on 6 minutes, a short free kick worked on the edge of the box. Fernandes shot, seen late by Steele, managed to claw it away. But up the other end on the break, Brighton Welbeck's ball over the top. Rater's shot was blocked, but it fell kindly for Brian Gruder, who tucked it in from close range to make it 1-0 on 12 minutes. And then probably the big moment of the game, Danny Welbeck on the end of a Senny Lamons misplaced pass in the penalty area, tried to curl it round the keeper. Keeper got just enough on it to keep it out. There have been chances at both ends, but still only the one goal. But this is far from over. At half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Brighton 1.
Well, we'll analyse that with Mike Phelan shortly, but it's full-time, just finished, and whistle's gone at the London Stadium. Ian Abrahams.
West Ham has squeaked through. West Ham 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Somerville, the man of the match, 5. West Ham ahead just before half-time in a drab first half. The second was slightly better, and Rangers got level midway through it. Richard Kone heading in after a lovely cross into the middle by Dembele. And then in the first period of extra time, wonderful little bit of skill down the left-hand side by Somerville. Run and cross, and there was Tati Castellanos. Good run from him into the middle to head home powerfully from 7 yards out. West Ham squeaked through. West Ham 2, QPR 1 after extra time.
Well, Swansea 2, West Brom 2 is full-time. They've gone to penalties, and every penalty so far has been scored. And in the other one, Hull 0, Blackburn 0. That's also gone to penalties. Hull ahead because Blackburn have missed 2. Hull have missed 1 of theirs. Also through earlier, Leeds 1-3-1 at Derby live on Talksport. Arsenal 1-4-1 at Portsmouth live on Talksport. Norwich beat Walsall 5-1. Mansfield of League One were 4-3 winners at Championship Sheffield United. And as you just heard, West Ham are through. And here, half-time, Man United 0, Brighton 1. Mike Phelan, let's talk about that goal for Brighton, because it was Gruder with the finish, but it was a break down the Brighton left and the Man United right. Really quick feet and a good cross from Danny Welbeck was the key to that goal.
Yeah, I think the whole setup for Brighton was definitely something they've analysed. They've definitely analysed the side that they want to attack on, and they want to attack on in numbers, and they create the space on this left-hand side. They want to get 1v1 with the lot, and I think that's happened through Welbeck or through the left-sided player for Brighton. That has created a problem for Man United, because once they've done 1v1, the opportunities that Brighton create from there, they get bodies in the box, and it showed there. Danny Welbeck, beautiful ball in, he puts it into an area which creates that tension in Man United's defence. Okay, the player doesn't score on the first attempt, the keeper makes a great save, but the ricochet after that comes out and he's straight onto it, and the bodies in the box have created that problem.
Absolutely right. That's the chance where Lamons has played it out straight to Welbeck. Actually, the keeper recovers well. We should give him credit for that.
Definitely. I mean, you can see that both teams want to play out from the back. I mean, it seems to be, what can I say, a disease in the game at the moment.
You're not a fan?
But I'm a fan when it works, but I'm not a fan. I'm like a supporter when it doesn't. But he's tried to play it out. He's obviously lost concentration, but he's given it away to a player that really on the first attempt should hit the back of the net. And I think, Lemons, to his credit, he's kept focused, he's made a save, and he's got out of jail, really, and that's kept them in the game.
I'm really intrigued by Sesko, and something you said about Sesko. He was caught offside, and you were praising him, saying, yeah, keep doing that. At some point it's going to work. And I was thinking to myself, he's been caught offside a bit too easily. So I was just writing down, too easily caught offside, and you were praising him. So I'm really intrigued by what you've got to say about
The reason I praise it is because the intention to go forward is important. I mean, there's been some world great football players who've been caught offside more times than they've probably scored goals, but been great centre forward.
Was it Fergie who said that Pippo Inzaghi was
Inzaghi comes straight to mind. Yeah, it always. But the fear it puts into defenders to get it right is important. And I think what we've seen from Sesko is they've definitely looked at it and thought, balls forward. If Sesko gets on the shoulder of the centre backs, not in between them, not being marked, then he's got the opportunity to run in behind. And if that delivery is right, he's favourite. He's favourite to get there. And I think he's shown that. Running offside's not a problem. Listen, you don't want to be running offside every time you go forward. But only by doing it will you find out where your timing's right. Is the opportunity there? And is there a connection with the player on the ball to find you?
Very interesting from Mike Phelan, former Man United assistant to Sir Alex Ferguson and an FA Cup winner in his time as a player at Manchester United as well. And at half-time in this FA Cup tie, Man United have work to do. It's Man United 0, Brighton 1. Breakfast tomorrow, Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling from 6 a.m. in the morning. Ali was at Wrexham Forest on Friday night. He absolutely loved it, and why wouldn't you as well? He's been following the FA Cup this weekend, so he'll have plenty to talk about with Jeff from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning on Talksport Breakfast.
On day 3 of leftovers for lunch, have a day off. Switch it up with a double cheeseburger for $2.49 on the McDonald's Saver menu.
Leftovers left the chat.
Talk about saver satisfaction. Served from 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability.
I remember holding her for the first time. Now, I'm about to walk her down the aisle.
Moments like these deserve to be seen clearly. With the Vision Express eye care plan, get 2 pairs from £5.70 a month, including 20% off and an advanced eye test. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Interest-free loan subject to status. VE is a credit broker, not a lender. Representing Adaro Optics Limited. Authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority. Minimum 24-month term.
It might be cold outside, but things are really warming up at the Wren Winter Sale. With red-hot prices on our high-quality, fully built kitchens and fitted bedrooms. Right now, there's up to 60% off fully built kitchens and all bedroom units. Plus up to 7 years interest-free credit. Made for making you feel warm inside, whatever the weather. Wren. Made for living. Visit your nearest Wren showroom. Offers apply when you buy 5 or more kitchen units or 3 or more bedroom units. Finance subject to status and minimum spend.
My mum, a legend to the end. A tough time, made easier by Co-op Funeral Care. A proper chat over a cuppa, a few classic mummisms, that camping trip in Skegness, and we've got it. A brilliant goodbye that felt right.
We're here in your community to guide, support, or simply talk things through. However you choose to say goodbye, we help you own it. Co-op, owned by you, right by you. Search Co-op Funeral Care for your nearest funeral home.
Big game this week. Want to bet? Stop and think. Because sometimes the best bet is the one you don't make. Gamble responsibly. Bet Fred. 18+, gambleaware.org.
The UK's biggest used car sale is on right now at Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars, all reduced. From Kia to Vauxhall, MG to Mazda, and everything in between. Whatever car you're looking for, you'll find a bargain at the real sale. It only happens once a year, and it's on right now. Visit arnoldclark.com to see why it's the biggest used car sale in the UK.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be inside a bowl of Heinz soup? Floating on a blanket of thick tomatoey goodness. The aromas tickling your nostrils. A crispy little human crouton drifting off, getting lost in the soup. Bathe in comfort. It has to be Heinz.
FA Cup Game Day live on Talksport.
Got another live one tomorrow night. Liverpool, Barnsley in the FA Cup third round. Join Natalie Sawyer from 7 p.m. For that one. And 2 ties have just finished. They went to penalties after extra time, finished Hull 0, Blackburn 0. Hull City winning 4-3 on penalties. Swansea 2, West Brom 2 after extra time, and West Bromwich Albion win 6-5 on penalties. Earlier, live on Talksport, Arsenal were 4-1 winners at Portsmouth. Hat-trick for Gabriel Martinelli. In truth, it could have been a bigger margin for the Gunners, but they are through. They've beaten Portsmouth 4-1. Shortly after full-time, the Gunners manager Mikel Arteta spoke to Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
It's not as low, sometimes create to opposition. I mean, they were really direct, they pressed high, they got some success from it, and we weren't that good. We tried to warn them because I have experienced that in both ways, and it's a lot to play. It's not only, in my opinion, being in the next round, but it's your reputation, the reputation of the club, because the expectation is clear. You have to be through when you play a team in a different division. He reacted in the right manner. I think the way that Arne Slot spoke after the game and gave his opinion on Gavi's situation and the fact that he had no intention to harm anybody, I think explains probably better than anybody else what football is and how a footballer feels about their colleagues.
Mikel, what was the most pleasing aspect of the performance in that second half?
Well, obviously we were much more dominant, much more fluent with the ball, and we played the game much closer to the expectations that we had before the game.
What does a successful season look like from this point, bearing in mind that you're still fighting on 4 fronts, everything's going as well as it possibly could be to an outsider?
Recovering very well and have a lot of energy for the next game. That's our season, because every 3 days is the expectation that you have to win again, and that's where we are.
But you're in a position where you could make 10 changes today, completely change the team apart from Gabriel, and yet the level of player that you can bring in gives you such confidence and depth in the squad.
Yeah, well, that's what we need, because when you want to be involved in these competitions like any other big clubs, you need that squad.
Mikel Arteta with Talksport's Jim Proudfoot. Want to bring in Mike Phelan, who, as Man United assistant with Sir Alex Ferguson, had plenty of battles with Arsenal along the way, I'm sure. But this Arsenal side, they're battling on 4 fronts. There's talk of a potential quadruple. Long way to go before that, but do you see them as the side that's definitely going to go on and win the title?
Well, they're definitely in the best position they possibly could be. Like you said there, Adrian, there's still a lot of games to play, and a lot of competitions sap energy and sap the playing staff. You know, you only need certain injuries to certain players who are really in the moment, they're playing well, and that can upset you. But I think right now, Arsenal couldn't be better positioned than ever before. And I think it's up to the rest to destabilise that a little bit, you know, and get some points and start to put in a real challenge. And the beauty for Arsenal as well is the fact that Liverpool are not performing at their best. I'm hopeful and probably looking ahead. Liverpool need to get better. They will get better, I think, in the second part of the season. And then all the other clubs, Man City, you know, every now and again we think they're on the front foot and they throw a wobble. But that's the beauty of the Premier League. But Arsenal at the moment are staying consistent. And that's really, really where they need to be all the way through, because at the end of it all, you're in all the competitions, it comes down to 1 or 2 games.
You enjoy watching Arsenal? I mean, 3 of their goals came from corners today.
Yeah, I enjoy watching different teams play in different ways, which is sometimes more difficult than it is to say it, because a lot of teams play the same way now. But I like Arsenal, I like the threats they've got, I like the way they play football. They've definitely got a steeliness about them that they had in the day. And you talked about it with Man United, the battles we used to have, both myself as a player here, down there, but also as a coach. You know, you have to win your battles in the dugout sometimes as well. But Man United Arsenal was a big fixture. And Arsenal have found that again. I think they've found that in this group of players. And it's up to them. It's up to them. Do they want it?
The biggest battle you had in the dugout was with a balloon, wasn't it?
Yeah, that damn balloon, yeah. It annoyed me. It annoyed me for about 10 minutes. And it had to end the way it did. But I honestly thought I'd lost my job that day.
For those that don't know, Mike Phelan popped a balloon right in front of the dugout, and to say it surprised Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, that would be... He'd no sense of humour, to be honest. You know what I mean? You've got to have a bit of sense of humour in this game.
Did he swear at you?
A little bit, yeah.
You deserved it, I'm absolutely sure.
It's nothing I haven't heard before.
We've heard from Mikel Arteta. Let's hear from John Mousinho, the Portsmouth manager. They took the lead after just 3 minutes. They've now conceded 9 goals in 2 games. Speaking to Talksport's Jim Proudfoot after the game, the Pompey manager was keen to focus on the positives.
There's a lot of pride in that performance. There's loads of things we need to do better, but for large parts of the game I thought we went toe-to-toe with what I think are the best side in the world at the minute. I know they made changes, but I still think they've got bags of quality everywhere, and I think against an extremely good Arsenal side we acquitted ourselves really well. So we're disappointed with the set-piece goals in particular, but overall I thought, apart from the injuries, we've picked up a really good afternoon.
Is there an element of what might have been, bearing in mind that it was defensive deficiencies from corners and the same error being repeated, that has ultimately undone you?
I think so. I think that if Arsenal are very, very good at, like I said, at set plays. The delivery's excellent, the aggression's very good. We just didn't match that. We didn't match the aggression. That was the disappointment. And whether it's against Arsenal, Sheffield Wednesday next week, whoever we're playing in the Championship as well, we have to be a lot better at that.
John Messina, the Pompey manager, they're just a point above the relegation zone. Behind them, Norwich are getting better. Worrying times for Pompey, although they put up a fight and they got well beaten in the end in the FA Cup. Mike Phelan is with us at Old Trafford, waiting for the team to come out for the second half. Brighton lead by a goal to nil. I'm intrigued by the fact that sitting together in this stadium for this game, Mike, and they're all next to each other, Sir Alex Ferguson, Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt. Does that in itself put pressure on Darren Fletcher, pressure on the players maybe?
No, I think they're here to do what they do, and that is to support Manchester United. They're here to watch a game. They're here to try and understand. I mean, they talk a lot, both Scholes, Ian Butty and every other ex-player, about Manchester United, but I think they're here to enjoy the game. They want to see a Manchester United performance, and I think just being in the company of Sir Alex is something they haven't done for a long time, myself included. I haven't spoke to him for a numerous amount of time now, and I feel a bit guilty about that, but I think it's important that you see these characters, you see these players here. This is the history of the football club, and I think you can only embrace that as much as you possibly can.
Well, the players are coming out for the second half, and it's a second half that Manchester United players simply have to embrace. Final word with Majestic and Alan Pardew at 6:30 on Talksport, taking your FA Cup calls. Pardew was on Talksport's commentary of Spurs 1 Villa 2 last night. I listened to it. His reading of the game, absolutely spot on. It was incredible. He's predicting what was going to happen, and it did. It was a great listen, and you could speak to Alan Pardew and Majestic after this game is done. Make a note of the number, 03717 223344. Man United 0, Brighton 1, second half, live and exclusive, and only on Talksport with FA Cup winner with United. Mike Phelan alongside Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Adrian. Over 73,000 packed in at Old Trafford. Majority of them wondering if Manchester United are going to turn this around as the second half gets underway. No changes at the break. United attacking the Stretford end as they like to do second half here. Long ball forward. They well find Dallow down by the goal line. Can he put a cross in? He does, but there's nobody at the far post. It probably was overhit anyway. Seni Lamon's the goalkeeper. Dallow, Yoro, Martinez and Dorgu the back four. Mainu and Agate holding with Cunha, Fernandes and Mount behind Benjamin Šeško leads the line. For Brighton, stealing goal, Hinshelwood, Bashagli, Coppola and Veltman at the back. Gruda and Gross with Gomez, Rutter and Karioglu. Danny Welbeck leads the Brighton line. We're underway, and Manchester United looking to build on what was a promising first half, Mike, but maybe need to create more clear-cut chances.
Yeah, they need to be better in the final third and the execution in the final third. But they've had the majority of football, just as much as Brighton. Brighton took the opportunity when it came. United haven't. But we're starting where both teams have just come out of the dressing room. They're just waiting for the game to get going. But we're already, Manchester United are in the ascension and got a free kick.
Yeah, it's level with the right-hand side of the penalty area, about 35 yards out from goal. Fernandes is going to go over and take it. He's going to swing this one in. Brighton again trying to hold a high line. 18-yard line is their marker. Steele waits in goal. Steele was busy first half, but good. Brighton looking for an equaliser. Manchester United looking for an equaliser here. There's a ball going to be swung in front of that Stretford end. Fernandes, right-footed, will whip the ball towards the far post, but the keeper is straight down his throat. That wasn't good from Bruno.
No, he's tried to wrap his foot around that a little bit more than he has done, and he's put it far too close to the goalkeeper.
Well, Steele is rolling his foot over the ball on his own 6-yard line. Eventually finds a pass out wide over on the Brighton left, but Manchester United have won it back midway side the Brighton half. Promising start here for United, but then they give it away, and Welbeck does well to win it and then hold on to it the second time, and they'll go back to Steele, who's under pressure from Shesko, but a nice little pass finds a Brighton player on the corner of their own penalty area, and they'll look to work out from the back. Ball played forward, given away. Mainu has it now. This has been better from Manchester United, certainly pressing high up the field, and they're earning the rewards of it now. Martinez will feed it wide. Here's Dorgu. He's seen a lot of it on the Manchester United left. Plays a lovely ball for Cunha into the area. Drives it across goal, and it's put behind at the near post by Coppola for a corner. Really good start for Manchester United.
A good start, yeah. And again, looking back to the first half, that run by Cunha inside of Veltman has caused Veltman problems, and I think that's an area to exploit.
Corner then for Manchester United, but will be just delayed because we've got 2 balls on the field. So Bruno Fernandes just kicks one away, and he'll walk back, looking to swing this one into the penalty area then. Can Manchester United conjure up an equaliser here at Old Trafford? Ball whipped in towards the 6-yard box. It's headed away by Brighton, and again towards Dorgu, 25 yards out, heads it across. A crossfield switch is a poor one. Ugarte couldn't keep it under control, and it's out for a throw into Brighton.
Yeah, Manchester United let Brighton off the hook there. They had the ball, they were in possession. Just a poor pass that goes out of play.
Yeah, well, they've got it back. Not quite incessant pressure, but the pressure's building. Here's Dorgu, look to try and go down the touchline. Mainu gets it back for Manchester United. Just a second start for him. You wonder what the future is for Kobe Mainu. Here's Lisandro Martinez. He gets it away back to Mainu. Brighton trying to just push forward but not committing. Here's Ugarte on the half turn. Finds Bruno Fernandes. He looks for a ball towards the far post. Dalot is arriving. It'll fall for Cunha here. 25 yards out. Couldn't hit it with his right. Feeds it wide to the right hand side. Ball pulled back. Was looking for Mount. It deflects off a Brighton defender and steals. First to react. Still Manchester United 0, Brighton 1.
Again, just that final thing, that selection. You know, at the moment they're looking at cutbacks. Why not just fizz one across the 6-yard box now and again and see whether the opportunity arises, not just from a Man United player getting in the box, but maybe a Brighton defender making a mistake.
Yeah, we've already lost 5 Premier League sides. We're going to lose a 6th in the 3rd round. Well, these 2 won't be in the draw tomorrow night. You'll hear it live on Talksport. All part of our coverage of Liverpool-Barnsley as Manchester United look to switch play, but Mainu's pass just overhit. But again, the idea was right, but it was just overhit and out for a throw into Brighton.
You talked about Mainu there and what the future holds for Mainu. Well, the future holds whatever Mainu wants to do with it. You know, he's got the shirt on. He's out there on the field, so hopefully he makes wise decisions and wants to be part of this football club.
Yeah. It is the transfer window. You'll hear from the likes of Alex Crook and Ben Jacobs throughout it on the TalkSport network and of course on the TalkSport website, talksport.com. Here 1-0 Brighton lead. Here now is a chance for Gruder, who turns, and if he looks up he's got support runners with him either side. Welbeck to the right, they'll feed it to the left hand side. Kareoglu, support players arriving. Rutter wanted to shoot, he got taken off his bootlace. His shot comes in, falls to Hinchelwood. His shot is blocked away, and Brighton's little flurry comes up to nothing in the end as United play their way out. And Dalot now, the game again opening up, and United roared forward but they've turned it over, and now a chance on the break. Rutter trying to get in behind. Martinez cushions a header back, nice header back, and Lamens has it, and United will build again.
Again, a lot going on out there. You know, it's 1 minute one team's in possession, then they give it away to another. It's pretty end to end and high pressure, big stakes.
Here's Cunha as well to keep it in. Sold Dorgu a little bit short there. Dorgu did really well to retain that. Right by the corner flag, he's gone down. Fans wanted a free kick. He wanted a free kick. Cunha wants a free kick. And finally, Manchester United do get a free kick.
I think the crowd got that free kick. They definitely encouraged that one, not just on the first attempt at the foul, but certainly on the second and the third attempt. They got what they wanted.
They did. It's 12 yards out from goal. It's right on the left touchline. Manchester United attacking the Stretford end, away to our left here. It's 3rd round FA Cup action live and exclusive on TalkSport. Tuesday and Wednesday it's Carabao Cup action live on TalkSport. Semi-finals, Newcastle against Manchester City on Tuesday, Chelsea Arsenal on Wednesday night. But here Manchester United have got a chance. Fernandes looks to swinging a ball from the left with his right foot. It'll be curling in towards that far post. Plenty of blue and white shirts back. Ball whipped in viciously, took a deflection, and in the end it went just over the corner of the goal and behind for a goal kick. Brighton still lead 1-0.
Yeah, again, just a little bit of variation there. Instead of it being into the second post, it's gone near post, but with pace. So players have to react, particularly, forwards have to react. If they're on the front foot, they're quicker than the defenders.
Yeah. Here's Steele, slipped as he played it out, but he still finds Veltman, who helps it on, and there's a chance here down the Brighton right-hand side. Gruder, the goal scorer, has it, level with the edge of the penalty area. Did Dorgu foul him? He did, right on the corner of the box, and it looked like Manchester United had that situation under control, and Dorgu gives away a simple foul.
Yeah, a foul you don't really need to commit there. Martinez has come across, he's closed out the space. There's nowhere other than back that the 8 can go. Sticks a leg out, takes the foul in what is a similar situation to what Man United had just seconds away at the other end.
And a Brighton second goal here really does change this. They lead by a 1-0, but at the moment it's open. Should Brighton get a second, then it could cause panic stations for the home faithful here. Ball being placed by Gruder. Is he going to whip it in left-footed? It's on the right-hand side of the penalty area.
What an opportunity for Gruder just to put it to the keeper's left here. There's a nice little gap there if he gets pace on it.
There is.
Don't think he's going to have the courage to do that though.
Well, let's find out. He's stood over it now. He is going to drive it in low. It flicks off and it falls to the far post, and it's ballooned over at the far post. That was half a chance for Brighton, and they snatched at it, and it's a chance for Veltman that he blazes over the top.
Yeah, it's a wild shot, a little bit more composure there, and he probably could have taken a touch and put it on the target, but he snatched at it, much to the delight of Man United.
Yeah, I mentioned the big games are coming thick and fast across the Talksport network. They don't come much bigger than the Manchester derby. We'll be here Saturday lunchtime on Talksport. United against City. Rashford Chowdhury, Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce, our team here. All the build-up from 11 as now Manchester United break up towards halfway. They still trail by a 0-0. 9 gone second half. Here's Cunha. Just lost it, but then wins it back and drives forward. He went crunching into a tackle. Referee will blow the whistle. He managed to stay on his feet there, mate. It looked one of those. He was going to overrun it and lunge in. He didn't, but it was still a free kick.
Yeah, the ball was spinning away all the time right across the field there, and he went chasing it. He was never really favourite to get there. But good decision. It's a fair decision. No yellow card. Let the game roll on.
Yeah. Free kick for Brighton, just their side of the halfway line here. Still only the 1 goal, but certainly the promise of more. Brighton looking to progress past Manchester United in the FA Cup for the first time in their history. Here now is Gomez, turns and drives, finds Welbeck. Welbeck opens up his body, gives it now to Rutter. He finds Gruder into the area, right side onto his left foot, looking for a shot, can't get a shot away, gets it to Hinchelwood. Are they offside? Veltman was offside, he couldn't get back quick enough. The idea was right, but Veltman was always retreating from an offside position, and the flag goes up to save United.
Yeah, wrong decision really. I think they could have maintained possession rather than make that pass. There's a danger here, with Gruder. Gruder's very, very comfortable at going 1v1. He's very comfortable at dragging that ball outside to go inside, and he's causing a few issues here.
Yeah, it certainly is. Ball with Manchester United in their own half. Martinez has it. He'll get it away now to Mainu. Brighton blue and white shirts pushing forward. Lovely turn from Fernandes, but he didn't find his man. It's intercepted by Kadioglu, and Brighton again win it high up the field. Ball on the Brighton left, attacking again. Welbeck and Rutter holding high positions, but Brighton are happy just to hold on to it. Here's Hinchelwood again, looks for the crossfield switch, looking for Gruder, and Gruder just couldn't quite take it. Dorgu was beaten in the air by the ball. Gruder acknowledges the pass, but he couldn't keep it in, throwing for Manchester United.
Gruder kept great width there, really good width. He allowed the play to be building in the centre of midfield, but he knew that switch was there, and it was a beautiful little pass, just a little bit heavy.
It was. A little flick towards his own goal by Dorgu. Puts Martinez under a bit of pressure. He finds Cunha. Cunha's header will be intercepted by Veltman. Bit of pushing and shoving. Referee happy to let play go on. Manchester United have it on their left touchline. It's all a bit tight and tense at the minute. Nice turn, or it looked a nice turn from Cunha, but Ugarte eventually bundles over Brighton. It's all getting a bit scrappy at the moment.
It is getting a bit scrappy. Everybody's trying to play those little one-touch passes, which is a skill in itself. But I think sometimes just take that touch, take the touch, make the pass complete on the second.
Right. Brighton leading by a goal to 0. Former Manchester United man Mike Phelan with us today. Here now is a chance for Gomez. He can hit them from distance, and he went for the almost no-look pass and passed it straight to a red shirt. Well, I saw him hit a hat-trick in the League Cup earlier in the year. 3 great goals. Here now is a chance. Rutter has it, feeds it wide to Gruder. Gruder onto his left foot again, looking to shoot, gets the shot away, bobbles through bodies. They wanted a corner, referees having none of it. It's a goal kick, Manchester United.
Dogu did well there. I think he's realised, that he wants to look as though he's going outside, but then he comes in and he stood his ground. He stood his ground really well. The only problem Dogu would have is if they get the overlap. If Brighton get the overlap on that one, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, well, they haven't managed to do that second half. They did it well first half, and it led to the goal, but nothing since. That Gruder goal on 12 minutes. You can listen to the Talksport breakfast show tomorrow. Jeff Selling, Ali McCoy. It's Monday 6 a.m. if you want to get involved with that, or fancy something different on your morning commute, you can check out the Chris Evans breakfast show at 6:30 on Virgin Radio. If you've got the Talksport app, you can swipe between all our stations as Cunha puts in a nice looking ball towards the far post, but nobody attacking it, and Steele dives on it gratefully at the far post.
Steele did well there, actually, because I'm sure at one point he was a little bit unsighted because his defenders come across him and then left it at the last minute. His concentration was excellent.
It was indeed. Brighton coming forward again. Next goal, it goes without saying, is crucial. If Manchester United can level it up, then we could be in for extra time and penalties. If Brighton can get it, and maybe heading to the 4th round for the 15th time in the last 17 campaigns.
United just need to get back onto that sort of attempt on goal again, like they had in the first half, which then gets a reaction from the supporters, from the crowd, going towards the Stretford end. It sort of sucks the ball towards goal, and I think that's really important for United to get those attempts again.
Gruder did really well there up against Dorgu, and now Brighton are looking to launch a counter, and if Welbeck had seen just over his shoulder there were Brighton players advancing down their right, but Manchester United win it back. Here's Dorgu, he's gone without it, and Brighton will look to break again. Welbeck will bring it under control. Rutter made a good run forward. Welbeck holds it up and now cuts in field. That's a nice run. He's holding off Mainu. He's still going and goes down. That'll be a free kick.
He's strong there, Welbeck.
Danny
really
Welbeck
strong.
did really well. It draws a yellow card for Kobbie Mainu. He showed his experience there.
He actually showed his development, because I remember him as that little skinny kid at 8 years of age. Suddenly now he's a man. He's mature. Look at the size of him, but he definitely had the strength there to keep everybody at bay.
How impressed have you been with the form of Welbeck? He's getting towards the latter stage of his career.
Well, I must admit, I was surprised when United let Welbeck go. I know it came in under a different manager, a different time, but I always thought that Welbeck was a Manchester United player.
Well, he's for the opposition here, and he'll be looking to put one in the back of the Manchester United net. Gruder gets it away. They play it in towards the edge of the box here. Gross feeds it wide. They're looking to get the overlap. Cunha did well, got a foot in, but Brighton retained possession. Here's Pascal Gross now. He loves a goal against Manchester United. He's not going to shoot this time. They'll work it out. Now they've got a chance to cross. Ball slipped down the line here, and a chance to pull it back. Gross, big chance here. Ball cleared away from the 6-yard line. It was a foul on Mount, who got his body just in the way in the nick of time, but again, it's a well-constructed Brighton move.
Yeah, definitely. But Brighton have a little bit more imagination. They've definitely got the imagination around the box. They're very patient. They wait for it. But when they trigger, they go. Mount did exceptional there, by the way, just to keep the concentration and follow his man in there. Took a knock for it, but that's what you've got to do.
An hour gone, and we are about to see a United change. I can see that Joshua Zirkzee is stripped and ready to go. Darren Fletcher is going to make a double change here. We're going to say Shea Lacey as well, who was impressive at Burnley in midweek. Yet to start again for Manchester United, but highly regarded, and United are caught offside on the far side.
Maybe Cunha will come out a little bit like he did at Burnley. The kid did make an impression at Burnley, hit the crossbar with his first touch. It's a wonderful move. Oh, it's Mainu. Mainu's coming out.
So Mainu will come off for Zirkzee, and Lacey will come on as well for Manchester United. Just await confirmation of that, and it is going to be Mason Mount. Mike Phelan, what have you made of Kobbie Mainoo on his second start of the season?
I think he's done well. You know what I mean? He's taken the ball. He's obviously looked after himself because he's been out of the picture a while. All important to be prepared and ready to play. And I think he's took that opportunity okay. He may be running out of a bit of gas now, and that may be the reason for the change. But it's good. It's good. He's back in the frame. He's looked at the game again, and hopefully he's looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, well, Manchester United are hoping that the changes will pay dividends. They trail by 1-0 here. Remember, they went out in their opening League Cup tie. They don't want to go out in their opening FA Cup tie, but they are behind here, and time is ticking away from Darren Fletcher and Manchester United. Ball played out by Brighton over on halfway. They've got it. And now they'll bring it out from the back with Pascal Grossuk. Well, you wouldn't know, he just rejoined the club, Mike. He's fit like a hand in glove, hasn't he?
Yeah, he knows, he understands exactly what Brighton are all about. He's been there long enough, he's been successful before with them. So, yeah, he's slotted in well.
Yeah, Zagate does well under pressure. Finds Fernandes, who now looks to drive Manchester United forward. Here's Mateus Cunha. He's got the overlapping Dorgu. He uses him as a decoy into the box, weaving his way through. But just as he was about to pull the trigger, Brighton snatch it away from him. And Brighton now look to break. Welbeck has it. Far side of the centre circle. Lays it back. Kadioglu will lay it out. And now they'll look for the ball back in field towards Gomez, who takes it beautifully on his chest. And now Brighton are advancing forward down their left-hand side. There's a real structure about Brighton. Even in transition, Mike, they know the plan.
Well, the body position's good to receive the ball. And the body position suggests that it's attacking. You know, it's not on the back foot, they're on the front foot. So they receive it in a good position, good awareness to travel forward. And I think that creates problems. United... Again, Cunha does terrific, really turns, drives forward, got to pull the trigger. You know, 3 or 4 too many touches.
Still 1-0 as the ball played forward. Gruder is onside. He has it 25 yards out. He feeds it into Welbeck, left-footed, smashes it in the top corner. And the former Manchester United man, Danny Welbeck, might just have knocked Manchester United out of the FA Cup. It's a clinical finish high into the roof of Lamonsden. It's Manchester United 0, Brighton 2.
I think what we see there is exactly what I talked about a few seconds ago. He's a Manchester United forward. He's literally created something out of nothing. He's got himself in space, he's turned, he's looked forward, and he's been so aggressive in that finishing that there was only one thing he was going to do, and that was break the net. The disappointment really from a Man United perspective is where are they in position to defend their goal? Because Danny has received it, he's turned, he's travelled, and then he's shot, and nobody has put him under pressure at all.
It's a great finish. It's right in the top corner. Finish. Keeper had no chance. Clinical from Welbeck, whose wonderful season and wonderful form continues. Thomas Tuchel may well have a decision to make when it comes to Danny Welbeck, but that was pretty much unsavable. And Brighton do double their advantage. And now things are getting desperate at Old Trafford, who trail by 2, and the damage could be about to get worse. They've turned it over inside their own half. But the pass found Gomez. He couldn't control it. And now United will look to break. Imperative that the team in red, white and black score next. And they might get a chance here. Shesko in behind. Shoots early. Great save still. Low, but the flag had gone up. It wouldn't have counted, but it was a good effort from Shesko. It was an even better save from Steele. Still 2-0 to Brighton.
Again, positive running. Yes, offside, but positive running. As long as that pass gets there, that's important. That they recognise the pass, they recognise the run. Fractionally offside, but it's positive. It's positive.
It is indeed. You are listening to Talksport. We'd like to welcome our listeners across North America on Sirius XMFC. FA Cup action live on the Talksport network around the world. And it is 2-0 to Brighton, who are looking for a third goal here. And Brighton now have got a comfort blanket. It'd be interesting now, Mike, do they change tactics or do they keep playing how they're playing?
I was just thinking the same thing, you know, do they as some teams do? Oh, he's just missed the opportunity.
Shesko won it on halfway, had Dorgu outside him and he went the other way.
You know, sometimes, you know, managers in the past have always said 2-0 is not the best position to be in with minutes to, you know, with a lot of minutes to play. But just watching it, Brighton still seem to be pretty active. They want to go forward. United have to force the game now. They have to make something happen, and Brighton don't Don't have to.
Oh, now Dorgu. Well, he goes down in the box. Gruder tells him to get up. There maybe was a hand on his back, but Simon Hooper gives the decision in front of the Stretford end that it's a goal kick.
Yeah, big decision, that one. Big decision from the referee. Compliments to the referee in a way that he made it, but it probably wasn't enough to give a penalty.
2-0 here. Right, boot on the other foot. What can Darren Fletcher do for Manchester United?
Yeah, well, that's why you're on the touchline. That's why you stood up there.
Here's Gruder looking to break in behind, and he's got Welbeck with him. He'll play it instead. He was looking for Rutter, just under-hit it. I think the problem for me, Mike, that Manchester United have got now is Brighton love to play on the break, and the more United go after them, the more open they become.
Again, that's what we talked about before. You know, if United over-express themselves now, Brighton will punish them. But again, United have to do something which they haven't done for a long while.
Yeah, ball on halfway. Fabian Hurtzler is bouncing up and down on the edge of his technical area. He's trying to move his team around. They lead by 2-0. Gruder with a well-taken goal first half. Welbeck with a great finish in the second half to give Brighton a 2-0 lead here. Manchester United are running out of time, but if they can get one back here as they get down the right, they put it across. Šeško with a header, he's put it wide.
Well, that was positive from the young kid Shea Lacey. He showed that at Burnley, you know, the game before. He has got the courage to take people on. He has got the courage to put the ball in the box. Šeško again, he's on the end of it. Probably should have hit the target there.
Yeah, you feel he's got to work the goalkeeper. He got up high, but he headed it past the far post. And it remains 2-0, and that's a beautiful pass. Finds Gomez on the half-turn on halfway. And Brighton are just starting to express themselves a little bit here at Old Trafford. They've won 3 of their last 4 meetings here. That was a risky pass, though. Gomez can't retain possession, and now here goes Lacey, the diminutive, highly skilled youngster. Looks for it back. Edge of the area, right-hand side. Tried to nutmeg his man. Goes past one. He might be little, but he's got a bit of strength about him. And the ball is hooked away, and it's picked up over on the far side. And forward come United again with Yoro. Martinez has it. You get the feeling if they can get one here with 21 left, it is certainly game on again.
Yeah, definitely. But you can feel the atmosphere when Shea Lacey gets the ball. The crowd react to that.
They do. Xerxes gives chase to a ball, can't get on the end of it. Brighton play their way out from inside their own half. They're looking towards Gruder on the near side. Dorgu's all over him, but he's given away a foul. He didn't need to do that. Brighton were isolated there, and Dorgu just lets the pressure valve off here. And the quickly taken free kick is too quick, and Simon Hooper says, let's do it all again. Manchester United 0, Brighton 2.
Yeah, really interesting moment now in this sort of 70th minute of this game. What both managers, both members of staff are going to do to try and win this game. You know, I don't think it's over. I still think there's a goal yet. It just depends who gets it.
Yeah, Brighton just running a bit of time off the clock, messing around at the free kick. Rutter will head in field. He's dispossessed though. Here's Cunha. Šeško makes a good run in front of him. Cunha just had to hang on. Waits for Dorgu to arrive. Left hand side of the penalty area now. Looks to whip in a ball towards the far post. Headed away. Who's going to get on the end of it? It'll be Gomez. He heads it clear. And the ball towards the centre circle. And Manchester United have it. They trail by 2, but they're starting to push Brighton further and further back now. Can Manchester United roll back the years and produce a great comeback in front of the Stretford end? Here's Lacey onto his left foot. Lays it to Fernandez. Ball towards Dorgu at the far post. Good header from Gruder. Facing his own goal. Heads it away. It's picked up by Manchester United. Down by the corner flag. Ugarte tried to win a corner. He'll get a throw in instead.
Yeah, good intensity from Manchester United. You know, they're keeping Brighton in their own half. They're not allowing them to breathe when they're in possession of the ball. But they need to make this count. They need to make this moment count, get the goal, and then we've got a real game on our hands.
Yeah, they will indeed. They have it with Dorgu on the left. Finds Lisandro Martinez. He's not really got anywhere to go, and he's lost possession. That'll be a throw into Brighton. They wanted to take it quickly. Already in the FA Cup this afternoon, Leeds won at Derby. Arsenal beat Portsmouth. Hull beat Blackburn on penalties. Norwich thumped Walsall 5-1. And Mansfield provided another upset, beating Sheffield United 4-3 at Bramall Lane. And West Brom went through, having drawn 2-2 at Swansea to win 6-5 on penalties. West Ham needed extra time to beat Queen's Park Rangers. And here, Brighton lead by 2-0. Up in Scotland, Rangers in front last we heard. We'll confirm that in a moment. Ball back in the Manchester United half. Lenny Yoro has to go back to his keeper, Lamens, who gets it away left-footed towards Šeško, who got the second ball. Can he control it? No, he can't. Taken off his feet by Bashagli, but here now a chance. Lacey got a chance to run at some blue-white shirts. He's cutting inside, but he went without it. Good defending there. Really good defending. Welbeck holds on to it. And the ball played forward to Gruder, who's looking to turn and launch a counter. Finds Welbeck. Welbeck's pass eventually finds its man. Well, they're so good at holding the ball up, Brighton, whenever they get the chance. And they have it again on halfway. And a 2-goal cushion at the moment. Ball back to Lamens. Manchester United are getting desperate now. Ball forward was to nobody. And Brighton will bring it forward again. They look comfortable, Mike, at 2-0.
Yeah, they make the passes count, don't they? They're very comfortable at taking the ball. They manoeuvre the ball well. And they get into the opposition's half really, really quickly. The transition's very good.
Well, Dorgu's down, holding his face. Ball comes to the edge of the box, and there's a shot there from distance that is just over the top. That was from Ferdi Kadioglu, and he'll be behind. And Dorgu has got up. I think he's just walking over to the physio as he looks... maybe just to get a little bit of fluids on board. Latest in Scotland, Aberdeen 0, Rangers 1. We thought Rangers had got a second. That was ruled out by VAR, but crucially they are still in front up north of the border, and Hearts early on beat Dundee despite being down to 10 by a 1-0. Here's Xerxes. I think he might have wanted play on there, Xerxes, but referee blows for a free kick on Cunha, and Manchester United have it with 16.5 remaining. You're live and exclusive on Talksport. And now here is Lacey again. Cuts it onto his left foot. Fernandez whips the ball into the far post. It's headed away. Up in the air. Overhead kick. And it was a dog who actually got something on it. But it went straight at the keeper's steel. Still 2-0.
It takes some doing when you watch that, eh? About 4 foot off the ground. He's done an overhead kick. Great flexibility.
It was. Ball on the edge of the Brighton area. Inshelwood under pressure, gets it back to his keeper, plays it forward. Here now, Dallow had a couple of great chances. One in the first couple of minutes, he was one-on-one with the keeper. How this cut time may have changed had that gone in. Ifs, buts and maybes for Manchester United at the moment, who are facing elimination at the third round for just the third time in 41 FA Cup campaigns. Brighton in control at the moment, but a goal would change everything here. Now it's a nice ball. Xerxes onside. Redshirt's waiting in the middle. Tried to find Dallow. And it's cleared away by Brighton. And anywhere will do now
again,
for Brighton.
You know, we talked about the pullback. It's like cemented in their heads to pull the ball back. Put it into that 6-yard area. Make them have to work to defend it. Make runs into the dangerous area. Just that final detail.
Yeah, right player down now. And the fans, I think, acknowledging that maybe Brighton are just starting to work things here, work the clock. There could be a change coming actually for Brighton. We're just awaiting confirmation of that. We're going to make a double change. There is activity. In fact, 3 of them I can see now. Matoma, who got the goal at Manchester City in midweek, he is about to come on. And I think as well, Jan-Paul van Hecke is another one of those about to come into the action. One thing that Hutzler did today, Mike, he made changes, but 5 of the 6 that he left out are all on the bench, so he was prepared if he had to use the full squad.
Yeah, I think his game plan was to get to a certain point, be that, I'm sure it wasn't to be 2-0 in front, but certainly to be in the game at this present time, 75 minutes, so he could refresh it a little bit. So it looks as though his game plan is working. You know, it's working to the extent that he can freshen it up, bring new players on to carry on what they've already been doing.
Yeah, well, it's Yassin Ayari who is the 3rd Brighton player up and ready. So the changes are made. Gomez, he makes way. And that's for Jan-Paul van Hecke. So Gomez, he goes off. He's played well in the heart of that midfield. Another change coming. Joel Veltman, he makes way. And that will be for Yassin Ayari. So Veltman, he goes off. And the 3rd and final change will be Karo Mitoma, and he will be coming on in place of Danny Welbeck, whose goal at the moment is rubber stamping Brighton's place in the FA Cup 4th round, and he's not in a rush, Danny Welbeck, to come off the field, and this may irk the crowd. He's giving Jason Steele the captain's armband. Steele says, no, I don't want it. And I think the referee's saying, come on, Danny, you can sort that out on your way off. He's he's doing a tour. He's doing the guided tour, isn't he, Mike, here?
Yeah, he's got to fasten it on. I think Danny's arm is a little bit bigger than the one he's just passed it on to. I think Danny's had an exceptional game. He's been a threat, he's been a menace, he's got a goal. He should have had 2, but he's getting a great applause from the fans, and justly deserved.
Would you take him to the World Cup if you were Thomas Tuchel?
Oh, wow, what a question. I think it's great for Thomas Tuchel to have all the options available to him, and he certainly would not disappoint anybody if he was out there in the US.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins, of course, is starting to find a bit of form at Villa, so good conundrums for the England boss to have. We'll be at the World Cup, every game live on the Talksport network in the summer from the States and beyond. As Manchester United trailing 2-0, cut forward now, cross into a dangerous area, and Van Heck's first touch is to clear the ball of his own 6-yard line. It's headed back in. There are blue shirts behind it, and they'll hook it away here. And Manchester United are running out of time here, and the ball from Martinez is out. Rangers are now 2-0 up. A penalty from James Tavernier. Rangers looking like another crucial 3 points as they chase down the leaders' hearts. It's the 3-way go in Scotland. Not often have we been able to say that. Manchester United respond with changes of their own. Casemiro and Harry Maguire coming on. Now, you made a point at half-time. What point will we see Harry Maguire playing up front? We might have reached that point, Mike.
Well, I think that's something that's probably in the mind. You know, he will be available for set pieces, and he will be a threat. That's definite. Casemiro probably is just going to sit in there now and allow, hopefully, Bruno and the forwards to get more forward.
Yeah, so Casemiro is on, and he comes on into the action for Ugarte, and Maguire comes on for Lisandro
The
Martinez.
referee has just penalised the Brighton manager there for encroaching into the technical area, which just seems a little bit trivial in a game like this.
Yeah, it's not exactly been a bad-tempered affair, has it?
No.
Ball played out wide. Shea Lacey's got a bit of room. The rain comes down here. It's a miserable old day at the moment in Manchester, and it's even more miserable if you're a Manchester United fan. They're 2-0 down. They've given the ball away again. And now the ball played forward. And Brighton have it, and they play it forward inside the United half. Everybody wants it, but they've given it away. Xerxes, well, he was going to win it back till Isherwood chopped him down. That's a free kick in the centre circle, and Manchester United take it quickly.
They need to keep the momentum, Manchester United. They cannot afford to slow this game down. They've got to pass the ball. They've got to run harder again. They've got to find a way of being transitional in Brighton's half. And they've got to be better on the final ball. Got to be better on the final ball.
Here's Lacey, goes for the shot. It just lands on the roof of the net. Casemiro just stopped it for him beautifully on the edge of the area. Left-footed curling effort, but it just landed the wrong side of the crossbar. Still 2-0.
Again, positivity coming from, probably the least expected one on the football field. A young kid, no fear. Let's go for goal. Cuts inside, lovely left foot, and just fractions away from the top right-hand corner.
Well, the good news for Manchester United is that Ahmad and Brian Mbeumo will be back from African Cup of Nations duty. They'll be back for Saturday's big derby, Manchester City, live here on Talksport, exclusively live on the Talksport network next Saturday. All the build-up from 11. With Reshmin Chowdhury, Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce. Here's Dorgu, invited over halfway, and he heads off towards the Brighton penalty area. Cunha peels off to the left. Sheshko waits, arm aloft in the D on the edge of the penalty box. They've not really tested out Steele too often in this second half. He made a couple of really big saves first half. They go to Fernandes, they go to man. He tries to find Xerxes. Finds Sheshko, first time effort straight at Steele.
That's a good effort. That's a good effort. One thing in his mind there was to control and shoot. His back was to the play, but he took the shot. That's encouraging.
They're trying to press high up the field, Manchester United. Brighton are trying to play out from the back. They lead 2-0. Goals from Gruder and Danny Welbeck. The second unsavable. Ball into Sheshko. Room to turn onto his left foot. Breaks for Cunha. Cunha's blocked by Van Heck. They're racing out Brighton here, but Manchester United have got a chance now. They had a chance to put the ball in. Casemiro tried to find Dalot. And you made the point earlier, Mike. Sometimes you just got to put the ball in the box and see what happens.
Yeah, it's just that selection, that little bit more that you need. Maybe just create that little bit more time for yourself. Take a touch. Everything at the moment when they're around the box has been one touch, and sometimes that can be too quick. And I think in that case, Casemiro's tried to be positive, but it's in the air. It's in the air, it doesn't need to be.
Yeah. Well, there'll be Manchester United fans, I'm sure, around the world listening in here as Maguire clears the ball forward. Van Heck clears it towards Cunha, who's beaten in the air. And Brighton, if they want to be here, can go aggressive and break. And they are breaking here. Inchwood has it, carries it nicely, finds Gruder. Red shirt's getting back. Brighton not quite as desperate to get forward since they got that second goal, but they've got this situation under control at the moment, and they're popping off passes and all the way back to Steele. And well, you mentioned a dangerous 2-0 lead. It's looked anything but dangerous for Brighton. They've controlled the game, haven't they, since they scored that second?
Yeah, they have. They've played with a lot of endeavour, but they actually know how to approach the game, how to manage the game. They're managing the game really, really well. I mean, we're now 8 minutes away plus added. You know, it's all on Man U, and I think Brighton have recognised that. They've got the 2-0 lead, and it's something Man United have got to do rather than what Brighton have got to do in this game. And the opportunity could come for both teams. Hopefully Man United get the one, and it makes it an unbelievable last 5 minutes.
Virginia Rutter, his afternoon is done, as we see Charalampos Kostoulis come on, and he will make his way on to the field here as the rain comes down. Manchester United facing elimination in their opening League Cup game and their opening FA Cup games of the season. Could be a history-making season for Manchester United for all the wrong reasons. Ball to Cunha. He cuts in field. Looks, Shea Lacey's made a good run in behind. Can he get the ball? No, he can't. He's sprinting forward. He couldn't haul it in. And it's behind for... He was out for a throw over on that far side. 6.5 left. Manchester United 0, Brighton 2.
All to play for. It's not over yet.
Still. Oh, you're right. And there will be some added on time. Referee has made a point of reference. NFL continues 6 o'clock over on Talksport 2, but there'll be United fans all around the world considering dialing in and speaking to Majestic and Alan Pardew on the final word. 03717223344. What next for Manchester United? That will be the question on everybody's lips. Because based on this performance, they've got a long end of season ahead. And with Manchester City coming at the weekend, it could be about to get worse, as that's a better ball in. It was for Casemiro and it's headed behind, and Manchester United have a corner.
Yep, they've had a few corners, Manchester United. They need to make sure that it's on the money, you know, and they put it into the correct areas. Create that bit of chaos again that they did in 1 or 2 of the corners in the first half. We haven't seen that this second half, but this is an opportunity.
It is. Get one here, and it is a grandstand finish on Talksport. FA Cup action here. Manchester United 0, Brighton 2. Time running out for the Red Devils. Ball towards the far post. Headed back towards goal. It's in! And it's Šeško! Game on at Old Trafford. Šeško with his 3rd goal of the week. Plants the header in, and somehow it's gone in the back of the net. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2.
A lot of bodies in the Brighton box there. A big corner kick to the far second post, and a great header. Good concentration from Šeško. Now we've got a great 6-7 minutes.
We have. That was a really tight angle. Well, there are 5 minutes left of the 90, and all of a sudden everyone at Old Trafford is starting to believe that the comeback could be on. He called for it all afternoon. Get the delivery into the box. Brighton are attacking at the other end, looking for a third. They can't capitalise, and listen to the roar. Here they go, the Red Devils flooding forward. Dallow's pass was a poor one. He's lost it on halfway. And the air, like a pop balloon, goes out of the Manchester United crowd as Brighton come forward again. Offside. Well, they're offside by a mile here.
They'll get a yellow maybe for that.
Well, it was Kostoulis who dinked it over the keeper. The whistle had gone. And it is a free kick we play on. 4 remaining here. Now, talk about changing. You called it, Mike. You said, look, if they get one, this is not over yet.
No, you can feel that atmosphere again. It's gone from a little bit of what are we going to get to now possibility.
Yeah, well, it's been a dramatic weekend. Here now is Xerxes, does well. Couldn't just find Šeško. Maybe had a bit more time than he thought there. Ball with Brighton. All of a sudden they're looking now to try and take the sting out of the game. They've turned it over. Yoro did well. He gets it to Lacey. Lacey drives infield. Oh, he's gone. That was a naughty challenge
I think
there.
that's a yellow card.
Yeah, I think a yellow for Lacey, whose enthusiasm and exuberance, he just overran it and stuck a foot out.
Good youthful exuberance there. Yeah. I think he'll take the yellow card for that and move on.
Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. Remember, Brighton have never knocked Manchester United out of the FA Cup for 95% of the game so far. It looked certain they were going to knock United out. Doesn't look so certain now. Gross making a run. Yoro contains the run, finds the header, and all of a sudden United are finding some space. Bruno Fernandes goes forward. He feeds it to Cunha. Cunha feeds it to Šeško. Šeško into the edge of the area. He was pulled back, was he? No. Ball cleared away by Hinchelwood, and all of a sudden it's panic stations for Brighton.
Yeah, it's definitely Manchester United on the front foot again. They're finding those spaces.
Fernandes.
Definitely an opportunity in this game.
Finds Cunha, but he's lost it. And now a chance for Costulas, who's isolated but wanders over halfway. Knocks it in behind. He's chasing it. Can he get a shot away? Rides the challenge. Still holds on to it. He's done really well there, Costulas, and then he gets a free kick. His manager will be absolutely delighted with that passage of play.
Definitely. He played the average there. He knew that, he maybe had the run on Bruno. Bruno did excellent, actually, to run all that way back and stay with him. But then he had the composure to come out of there and got the free kick. Kill the game, kill the tempo, kill the atmosphere a little bit, and the minutes. 2
remaining of the 90. Then we're at the hands of the fourth official as to how long will be left here. 2-1. Manchester United trail. But it's a free kick they've got to deal with. There's only 2 Brighton players in the box here. Pascal Gross is between the edge of the right side of the box and the touchline. They just played out to the touchline to Gruder, whose goal 12 minutes in started the madness here. Cunha does well to win it back. Gruder will get it back again. No, into the area. Was he fouled? No, he wasn't. Play on. Here now is a chance for Casemiro to find Lacey. Lacey on halfway, needs to control it, didn't quite manage, but he's conceded a throw-in. I think he thought he'd won the throw-in. Oh, he bounces the ball. Now he's being booked there, so he's got to be careful, the young fella.
I think the referee might do it.
He's going to book him. He's going to send him off. He's going to send him off, is he?
Yes.
He is. 2 yellows make a red. And the young man, Shea Lacey, just his 3rd senior appearance for Manchester United, has seen red. Well, he bounced the ball away in frustration. He didn't throw it away, he bounced it away. And the referee, Simon Hooper, shows him a 2nd yellow. And he sprints down the tunnel. He'll be heartbroken. He'll feel he's let his side down. And United will finish the game down to 10.
Yeah, there's a lesson to be learnt there. I think he's learnt that the hard way. He had the first yellow. And then obviously just exuberance on his part, but it's the rules of the game. You can't show that sort of anger towards the fourth official. And he's suffered.
Yeah, he has. As soon as it happened, you think, oh, he could do it. He's given the referee a decision to make, and he's made it. Brighton about to make another change. They've turned it over. How long's going to be added on? Fourth official says 5 added on minutes. We're into the 5 minutes now. Manchester United down to 10-1. Brighton 2. Brighton coming forward, looking to wrap it up if they can here. Gruder, can he keep it in? He hooks it back, but the ball's gone out of play. And the referee will say that's a goal kick to Manchester United. But they've got a mountain to climb down. They've only got 5 minutes to do it.
Now, there's a lot going on now, both on and off the field. All the coaches are at times trying to calm it down, and then they're getting up for it, and it's just chaos again. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant the way it's flowing.
Here's Cunha, gets it away to Dorgu, puts in a ball, but it's too near the keeper. Tommy Watson stripped and ready to come on for Brighton, who are going to try and kill the game. As they work it forward, he's gone offside here. Surely the Brighton player.
Yeah, it'll go to a throw-in, I think.
And it'll be a throw-in for Manchester
But again,
United.
the break from Man United, you've got a perfect situation for Šeško. If you pop it into the 6-yard box near post, you fancy your striker coming onto the ball there. But they go higher, and it gives the opportunity to fly a loose ball in there, and the keeper collects it.
Gruder replaces Watson. Gruder, who's got the opening goal here. Welbeck with a second. Brighton 2-0 up after 65 minutes. Šeško got one back from a corner with 5 minutes remaining. But we've seen Shea Lacey sent off for 2 bookings inside 3 minutes for the youngster. Ball given away by Manchester United, who are now desperate. Crunching tackle goes in from Bruno Fernandes, who rages at the official for not giving him the decision. 90 seconds of the minimum, 5 have gone. And Manchester United's season is hanging by a thread in terms of trophies. They're behind here in the FA Cup and facing elimination at the 3rd round stage. Harry Maguire's been all in wrestled there by Kostoulis, but he wins. Oh, well, now Kostoulis has picked the ball up, trying to take it away, and Harry Maguire slung him to the ground. He might be getting a yellow card himself here. A yellow card for Kostoulis for grabbing the ball, and the yellow card for Maguire for throwing him on the ground. And now they haven't taken it from the right spot.
It's amazing how a good game of football, a really, really open, flowing game, results in bizarre yellow cards for next to nothing, really. And it's just the franticness of this sport. You get wrapped up in it, you get involved in it.
Risky pass across the face of the United penalty area. Casemiro did brilliantly well. Not only does he win it, he finds Cunha. Cunha looks up, there's no Shea Lacey to aim at. The pass is a poor one. Really poor one there. And United a player down, just finding that there aren't enough red shirts on the field. Great tackle, Yoro has kept it in. That is a wonderful tackle. He comes forward here. Couple of minutes of added on time remaining. You're live on Talksport. Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. United down to 10. Here's
Take him on.
Dorgu drives past his man into the area. Could he have had a shot? He turns, he's onto his left foot. He was desperate for a tackle to come in, it never arrived, but he's still got it. Dorgu's still got it, he's got Maguire with him. Ball comes back to Maguire, back to Dorgu. They're all waiting in the middle, needed to deliver it. Xerxes back to Maguire. Maguire left-hand corner of the penalty area. Everybody imploring to get it into the area. It's out for a throw into Manchester United, and it might be now or never.
Yeah, let's see.
Well, they've got it back, but they've given it away, and Watson's first touch is to hack it out of play. Brighton are on the ropes. It's like a boxing match. They just want to hear the final bell and they know they'll be through. They don't want to get cut by a big sucker punch on the chin.
But they're also aware that Manchester United have it in them to score within the last minutes of a game.
They do. Ball into the edge of the area. Šeško tries to bring it down. It'll fall for Cunha. Cunha can't control it. Dallow's got to win the challenge. He does. Oh, he wins another one. Brilliant from Dallow. Šeško then on the end of it. But it's desperate. It's frantic. And they can't find a red shirt. But still, Brighton can't clear their lines. Ball out of play. 94 minutes on the clock at the Stretford end. United 1, Brighton 2.
It is desperate. It is frantic. But that's what makes an FA Cup game. You know, any game this weekend, when there's franticness, when there's anguish, everything happens in a game of football.
Brighton caught offside, 2 yards over halfway. This is it now. This is Harry Maguire time. Everybody's going forward for Manchester United. Ball in towards the box, towards Maguire. Into the far post, heads it down towards goal. If he headed it back, there were 2 players waiting to tap it in. And maybe there, Mike, they just needed to take a little bit longer over the free kick, which sounds bizarre in the final minute, but there were enough red shirts forward.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think you can do anything other than what they've just done. They've put it into a great area. They've got a free header. Just the wrong choice.
Yeah, well, time ticking by and Brighton are on the attack. They're determined to see this one out. And for the first time in their history, knock Manchester United out of the FA Cup. And that's what happens. A few boos go around Old Trafford. They felt there should have been longer added on at the end. But Brighton got the damage done in the opening 65 minutes. Brian Gruder tucked in from close range to give Brighton the lead at half-time. And Welbeck, who missed a glaring opportunity in that first 45 minutes when he made no mistake on 65, fed on the edge of the box, he lashed a shot past Lamens and into the top corner. It was unstoppable. It gave Brighton a 2-0 lead, and although Šeško got one back with 5 minutes remaining, Lacey's red card maybe denied Manchester United the chance of an equaliser. Maguire's header late on was straight at the keeper, and United now have gone out at the first time of asking in both the league and the FA Cup This is turning into a disastrous season. What next for Manchester United? They're out of the FA Cup. Brighton are through to the draw tomorrow night. Deservedly so. They've won at Old Trafford in the FA Cup for the first time. It ends Manchester United 1, Brighton 2.
Well, it's all smiles for Brighton. You can understand that as well. Their fans are so happy away in the corner. Only 1,000 of them came. They could have had a lot more than that, but they were protesting about ticket prices and the kick-off times as well. But these United fans are not happy at all, and you can understand it. Mike Phelan, first of all, let's praise Brighton because they controlled the game well. Let's talk about the second goal. Danny Welbeck with the finish. The kid from Longsight, just a few miles away, just up the road, at United from the age of 8. I love the fact he had no problem celebrating. What a finish. Gave the keeper no chance.
Yeah, I think it's terrific from a Danny Welbeck. I mean, his career has just gone on from strength to strength. It's a shame, really, he's not smashing that in the back of the net in a red shirt, but that goes back quite a while now. And I just think that Brighton seem to know how to play the game of football, how to raise the tempo when they needed to, when to be calm on the ball and build. And I just thought, as much as I love the franticness of a cup tie, United just seemed to be all in. It was all in, bit of chaos, a little bit frantic in the moments when they needed calmness, and they just didn't have enough.
At times, even in the Fergie era, that worked. If you remember that Sheffield Wednesday game when Steve Bruce scored a couple of goals. I mean, there was chaos in those games, but they actually got the job done. I think there's a reality that all United fans who are so disgruntled right now have to accept. And the reality, Mike, surely is this. Whichever manager comes in, whether it's interim or permanent, whether it's a United legend or not, they're still going to be working with a squad which I believe does not have the quality. Listen to the boos as those United players make their way to the tunnel. This United squad, with a few exceptions obviously, but it doesn't have the quality to be competing at the top end.
I think, Adrian, the boos are there because of the frustration of the supporters. I'm not so sure the boos are there because of the performance today, because I think they really did something different. They put the ball forward, they created opportunities, not great final balls, not great final decisions, but they actually were in this game. They were in this game, and they didn't take the chances when it came their way. The frustration from a support is, where do we go now? Because this is the real Man United now. This is the present Man United. It's not the past Man United. You know, I can sit here and talk about all the good times and all the good days and what we did, what we didn't do, and how we won things. But it's different. It is different. And the reality is they need to do more. They need to do more as a football club. They need to do more as football players. And that is what the next guy who comes in has to try and achieve.
Agree with that. When we're looking at the bigger picture, step back and have a look at the bigger picture, because we can analyse this game in just a moment. But when you look at the bigger picture, there's banners that are suggesting that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is not the man to solve this problem. We heard the fans singing they want the Glazers out when it was 0-0. So there's a disgruntlement with the ownership. But surely there has to be better recruitment and better coaching of the players here to produce better results on the pitch, isn't it? Isn't it the fact that there's a problem at every single level you look at with Man United right now?
Well, certainly you have to go back to creating foundations. Foundations, what do they look like and who's leading it? Who's leading through those foundations? What is it that they're trying to achieve? And how they're going to do it? What is the strategy? Not what the process is. What is the strategy behind it all? You know, it's easy to sit there and it's easy to watch it and say, well, you know, and you sit in those meetings like I've done and you talk about things like, you know, let's qualify for Europe. This is Man United. Let's win the Premier League. It's a different question. What is the strategy? Because I'm sure any coach that would come here, be it the present ones or the ones that might come in, there's a question to be asked there. What do you want to do? Do you want to win the Premier League? Do you want to win the Champions League? Because you're Man United. Okay, the coach then will ask, I want to do that. How are we going to do it? And I think that's a really important thing to talk about. How are we going to do that? Who are we going to do it with? And how long is that going to take? And then those messages have to go out there that this is the direction we're going in. I'm not so sure that's clear at Manchester United. You know, I'm not... I haven't watched a lot of Man United games. I've watched highlights, but not games. And you feel that frustration that, you know, what is it? What is it about Manchester United that you can be consistent with? And at the moment, you can be consistent with chaos. You can be consistent with chaos because that off the it's chaos. And that has to settle down. At some point, it has to be somebody in charge that creates this environment where we are trying to succeed. We are trying to move this forward, and it's going to be a jigsaw puzzle.
You're speaking constructively, but you sound very frustrated with a club that you've clearly got a big affinity with.
Yeah, you get frustrated because, listen, I'm privileged to sit here because I've been there, seen it and done it. And it's not easy. It takes a lot of work to win football matches. Even in the day when we were winning, Sir Alex was winning. You know, I can remember walking out of that dugout there and walking down that stretch there to the Stretford end of Shouting Field and sort it out, and we're 0-0. You know what I mean? It's not as if we're behind. Now the frustrations are bigger than that because there's things on and off the field that supporters feel as though they're aware of but don't actually know. Now, I'm not sure it's a good idea to tell them everything, but I think there's got to be some sort of mechanism out there where this is what we're trying to do, this is where we're trying to go, and this is how we're going to do it. But ultimately, it's a big, big job. It's a big job to win. It's a big job to be a manager of Manchester United, and it's a big job to satisfy these supporters who a lot of the time have had some serious success, and they still want that.
Mike Phelan, what does it feel like, having been part of and witnessed a lot of that success over the years, to see this Man United side? We've not even got to the middle of January and they're out of any contention for trophies. They're definitely not going to win the league, and all they're playing for is a place in the Champions League next season. That's all they're playing for. That is not Man United's DNA, is it?
No, but that's the present Manchester United. You know, and you have to accept that you know, what they are delivering is not where Manchester United want to be. Now, I could remember, and again, I'm not talking about historical events, but going into January, 5 points behind the lead, you've got a chance of winning the league. You're in for, you know, you've got 4 trophies. That's Europe and the 3 cups, you know, the Premier League and the other 2 cups. Now, if you've got that and you've got a full squad available to you, you've got a fair chance. That's not the current state of Manchester United. Now that they've gone out in both cup competitions, they're not in Europe, which I thought at the start of the season would be a bonus in some respects to push on. That hasn't quietly developed, but now all the talk's going to be about, can they get back into Europe? Can they get into the top 5? We're talking about a Manchester United not being in the top 5 in the Premier League. It's amazing to think that, but it's reality. How are they going to do it? And they still can. That's the daft thing about this Premier League. They still can, because there's a few teams faltering in the Premier League at this moment in time. So now, full focus now on getting the appointment right for the temporary, if that's the way they're going to go, getting the appointment right from the point of view of being in the Champions League or European places at the end of the season, and then is it the new full-time manager with the credentials to move on and move forward? But they have to do it quickly.
A couple of quick points. Sesko, you were very positive about him in commentary, and he got a goal in the end.
Yeah, listen, for any coach, any manager, you look for positives in defeat, and there always are some. And I think Sesko, over the last 2 games that I've seen him perform, in the Burnley game and this, when the service is right for Sesko, he's on the end of it. Whether he scores or not is a different thing. But if that ball is in the right area, you can see when he's facing goal, he can get there. He can make the opportunity. I think there's got to be more of that. The bit about running long, I like that. I like that. That he exploits the space. He gets on the shoulder of the defender. He creates, you know, a defender has to look, where is he? Where is he? I can't quite get to him. Then he makes a move and he's in behind. Now, if that means he runs offside a couple of times, so be it. So be it. But he will get in there.
Let's talk about Shea Lacey very quickly as well, because I thought he could have been sent off for the first tackle.
Yeah.
Got a yellow for that, and then he slams the ball on the ground. He's young. He's been stupid, isn't he?
Well, stupid is quite a detrimental word to use,
yellow,
but he's been silly. He's definitely been silly from the point of view of his exuberance. But you can see the crowd react. As daft as it is, you can make an impression in different ways. You can tackle, you can score goals, you can get sent off. I remember when I think Steve Bruce got sent off here in his first game for Man United. Became a hero. Mad, isn't it? The game football is mad. But the boy, at his tender age, his enthusiasm, I think that's a lesson learned. And I think that will stay with him for a little while. But I don't think it'll affect him. But in the moment of madness, these things happen.
Mike Phelan, it's been a privilege and an education as well. Appreciate you being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Mike Phelan, Manchester United legend, cup winner with them as a player, and with Sir Alex Ferguson through many years of success at Manchester United. But that success ain't going to be happening this season. Listen, Super Ali and Jeff Stelling on breakfast tomorrow from 6 a.m. Ali's been here at Old Trafford as well, watching the game. Final word with Majestic and Alan Pardew coming up, taking your FA Cup calls. 03717 223344. Rangers won 2-0 in the end, away to Aberdeen. They go second behind Hearts, 3 points behind them, 3 points ahead of Celtic, but Rangers have played the game more than the other two. Brighton have come to Old Trafford, knocked Man United out of the FA Cup. Danny Welbeck celebrating his brilliant goal was the highlight. Terrific finish from him. And last time, United didn't have European football and were beaten at the first hurdle in both cup competitions was 1981-82. But the league season consisted of 42 games back then. For Man United, this is now a 40-game season, the club's shortest ever season. They're out of the running for silverware earlier than ever before. It's a new low for Manchester United.